Hello, slime lovers. Y'all know what time it is? It's slime time, y'all. Welcome to the Slime Show.
That is a time.
Slime up, y'all.
Fish on.
Brought to you by Carolina Lake Weights. Come drift with us.
No catfishing expensive, but it's free. Child, some folks crazy about it, others have to leave it be. You walk down to the bank so you can splash your you looking for
Fish on. Yeehaw, baby. What's up, slime lovers? I'm Chris, aka El Gato Azul. Down here is down there is Jamie, my co-host. Carolina Real Screamers. Tonight we've got Rich and the Operation Vets with Nets crew in with us, and we also got a special guest with us that's going to spend a little time. Claude Newman and his son, who won the Kid of the Week, Angler of the Week for Carolina Lake Weights. So, welcome in, everybody.
What's up, everybody?
How's everybody doing tonight?
We're doing good.
Good.
Great.
Doing better now that I got in here.
How's it going, boy?
My laptop didn't want to work, so I had to switch it out.
Yeah, there's always technical difficulties. That seems to be kind of the motto of our show.
Yeah.
So, we're used
My
to it.
technical difficulties is my coffee's about empty.
I'm going strictly water, the doctor's orders. It's good to meet everybody tonight.
I got jungle juice.
Oh man.
So we got Rich. He's the leader of this motley crew.
He's the boss man.
Hayden is like over the other side of him. We got Derek down here, and thought we had one more guy in here, but I guess this is our crew for tonight. So appreciate you guys coming in. Rich, tell us a little bit about what y'all are doing and how you got it started.
Sure. And again, thanks for the invite. We got a lot going on now. Matter of fact, just recently I had an opportunity to do a night tournament with my boy Derek over there on the Chowan, and oh man, good time. I've never done. I'm not big into tournaments, at least not yet. But we had a great.
You slept at least half the night.
Not half the night. That's what he told my wife. He tells my wife, he goes, he sleeps with his mouth open all the time, don't he? He's like acting like I'm like, but I probably was. I mean, I'm an old dude, man. I'm 56. I need my sleep. No, but we. I
hear you.
We had a great time, but Operation Vets with Nets. How did it start? Where do I begin? I guess it started, in 2019. Like I'm 100% disabled. I deal with bouts of depression, major back issues. I'm all jacked up, and so I was finding out that every time I went fishing, because a lot of people don't know if your body's going through turmoil and stuff like that, stress makes it even worse. And so, because there's good stress and bad stress, but so I started catfishing, and I'm fairly new to catfishing, 3 years now. But I started going out and I just found it very relaxing, very therapeutic. And so I started inviting some friends with me because it gets boring by yourself sometimes. And so one of my buddies that I took out after the trip, he told me that he suffers from severe PTSD. I'm like, really? I did not know that. And so, and I've known him for years. And so his wife called me probably about 3 days later after he got back. We were on the water the whole weekend and got him on some really nice fish. And so she was crying, and I'm like, whoa, what's the matter? I thought something happened. And she goes, my old man, you know, she goes, I haven't seen this guy in years. I'm like, what are you talking about? There's the little man. So
He's in here early tonight.
yeah. I said, what are you talking about? And she goes, I got my husband back. I'm like, I'm still confused. She goes, since he's got home from your fishing trip, he's been just really relaxed. He hasn't been as stressed out. And she goes, it's all because of you. So all I did was take him out fishing, you know? And so I was talking to my therapist at the VA. I was kind of sharing that with her. And she goes, it sounds like you found a little niche there. You know, finding, you know, helping other guys, you know, just through therapy by going out there fishing, you know, camaraderie, brotherhood, fellowship. You know, sometimes I see guys coming by the boat and they swear we have church going on because we're all praising Jesus. Hey, is that the birthday girl?
Yeah, it is.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
So, it dawned on me, but hell, if I can do this for myself by getting this, you know, this, I call it real therapy, then, you know, maybe I can help some others. And so, you know, God just put, and so I started investigating, talking to people, and found out what I needed. So in October of 2020, during the midst of the pandemic, Operation Vets with Nets was born. And so that's really our story in a nutshell.
So how did you get hooked up with Derek and Hayden? How did you find these?
Well, Hayden, go ahead, Hayden, you tell them.
So I found Operation Vets with Nets through Mad Cats, through the website. I was deployed, and I was in Poland end of last year, and I came home January this year. And while I was deployed, I had come across Operation Vets with Nets. And being active duty military, you know, a lot of times the only people to give back to veterans are veterans. So, you know, I wanted to give back in some way. I've only been catfishing on a year and a half now, but you know, I've been fishing with Ken Ferguson and Alicia Ferguson, and you know, they taught me a lot. And you know, they're actually partners down here for the Central Texas chapter, and they, between the three of us, I talked to them, and that we wanted to give back to the community, because you know, me and Chris, we've talked about this a million times. The fishing community down here isn't that great, and a lot of people aren't willing to help anybody. And so we wanted to give back in some way. And, you know, we didn't want to just add to the negativity of the community. We wanted to do something positive in our area to be able to give back to a lot of the disabled veterans. You know, I'm on a military base. A lot of people who retire or get out disabled stay here. So, you know, we had a huge window to help a lot of disabled veterans. And so that's why I got with Rich and Rich talked. And then we decided to pull the trigger on starting the Texas.
Watch. This one, pay attention.
So I want to interrupt y'all, but we got Claude the Third over here. He's our Carolina Lakeway Kid of the Week. He won.
He's blushing.
He won the Kid of the Week award. He caught his PB flathead. How big was that fish?
7 pound, 8 ounces.
Nice. And you know, it was a great picture and a great memory. And so, you know, Claude, why don't you tell us a little bit about your son and give us a little insight on that.
Okay, he's my name's Claude, and he's 23 years old. He has the characteristics of autism. I don't know, he's a good-looking boy. He's slow at some things he ain't. He's really smart on some things. And he he likes to go fishing, which I do too. But back in my day when I went fishing, you had a Zebco rod and reel. That's all you had. These days you got everything. You know, top of the line, Mad Cats. And I took him fishing one day, and he said we wanted to go out on a boat, so we did. So we come back and started fishing. It was getting real choppy out there, so I thought, well, we'll just come back in and fish out of the boat, at the dock. So we did, and I told him, I said, you sit here and pay attention, you'll catch a fish. It wasn't about 5 minutes later, it hit.
I tell you,
And
congratulations.
he was excited out there. It was just a smile on his face. Bring tears to your eyes.
Congrats, Claude. That was an awesome
Yeah.
picture. Awesome fish, buddy.
Great work.
You
I know
killed it,
there's a
man.
lot of people,
You
This is
killed
great
it,
work.
buddy.
there's a lot of people proud for you, buddy. They really are.
He's going to catch more, ain't you? He's blushing now. All right.
Well, I know a lot of people were touched when they saw that. I know one of our teammates, Ian Tipton, gave him a rod and a reel. That's pretty
Yes, I went and
cool.
picked it up. Yep.
When I told Action Jackson about it, he wanted to give Claude a Mad Cat's rod. So Mad Cat's going to be sending you a rod, Claude, from my son Action Jackson. And I also spoke with Matt Knight, and he's going to be sending you some stuff as well.
Yep.
Jamie and Rebecca, I know they sent you a hat.
Yep, he's got it on right now.
You're wearing it. That's pretty awesome, buddy. And
He's blushing.
We got you some more stuff coming too, buddy.
Hey, and
Oh,
if
thank
you
you.
get me his contact information, I'll send him out an Operation Vets with Nets t-shirt.
Nice.
Ooh.
oh, cool.
That's cool.
I'll get that to you, Rich. That's awesome. Thanks, buddy.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah. So, Claude, we love you, man.
I think he's.
Keep doing what you're doing, buddy. We appreciate everything that you do for us,
Yes.
and we enjoy having you as part of the family.
Hey, he left for a minute. He started crying, guys. He's so happy.
Well, I tell
Yeah,
you,
that's-
everybody out there.
He's got tears in my eyes.
We're so proud. We're so proud of y'all, man. I mean,
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
It's a blessing.
Also, you guys was talking about the Operation Vets for Nets. I have a friend who was in Saipan, and he was on, I can't remember what the ship was, a War Eagle or something like that. And he did like 3 tours, and he was telling me how bad it was. I was going to try to get him on live, but I couldn't get a hold of him.
Well, if you want us to see if we can get it and put him on a trip, just go out to our website, and I'll get more in detail with that later. And
Yeah, I told him I'd take him on my boat anytime.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there you go.
Where are you guys out? I'm out of Ohio.
Well, I've got some connections in Ohio, so I'd be able to get them out there as well. But we have a chapter in. Hey, thanks for putting up the website.
Yeah, thank you.
We've got actually a chapter that says where Hayden's at. Northeast North Carolina, just south of Chesapeake, Virginia, which Derek will talk here in a minute. And then we've got where we found it out is the North Carolina, Virginia area of Lake Gaston, and I've got some brothers all over that take folks out, so I'd have no issue trying to plug somebody in.
Yeah, I'll definitely let him know. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Rich, if you got anybody that wants to go out here in North Texas, I'd be happy to take some guys fishing. So, let me know, buddy. Anytime. It's 105 here, so it's not ideal fishing conditions, but
It's 105. Yeah, if you know anybody in Ohio, I'll take him down here too. I'm not the greatest, but I'll take him out.
I'll get your information from Chris and that'll work. Yeah, we're looking, the more folks we get volunteers out there throughout the states that are willing to have that servant's heart and take folks out, man, it's a blessing, because if we could save one life, it was worth everything that we do.
That's it.
Well, you guys are how we live now. We're free,
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all, and I think it's cool that we got y'all coming on around the 4th of July when it's on pretty much everybody's minds. So, I think it's cool what you're doing. And I'm glad, I told Jamie, let's partner up with these guys. I think it's cool. I don't really know what we can offer other than we'll just try to help spread the word like we do with our other partners.
I need $10,000.
I figure if you take them out on the boat and they catch a fish, that'll set it to go right there.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
You know,
Yes,
I
sir.
think everybody's wanting to go fishing with Micah right now.
that's
Yeah,
it. That's
me
it.
for sure.
You know, myself
Yeah.
and Rebecca, we're very proud and honored to be a part. We're so blessed, and we're just out, wanting to spread the word for you get so much help for our veterans and stuff, and from Carolina Lake Weights and myself and Rebecca, thank you for allowing us to be a part of something this terrific. That's for sure.
Well, I mean, we're the ones, and I think Derek and Hayden, could attest to this. We're the ones that are blessed by the support from you guys. A lot of folks do stuff like this for all the freebies and this, that, and the other thing. And you know what? It's not. And going into, because I've ran into folks like that. Going into we do isn't has nothing to do with us. It's all about our vets. And the thing is, for the long, everything has been straight out of my own pocket. Didn't care. My wife, she was like, I said, especially when it came to building the wheelchair boat, which we can talk about later. But I mean, I was truly blessed by a lot of people that stepped up with this wheelchair boat, by either buying stuff that the boats needed, or with funding, whatever it was. I'm completely blessed by it. But I've forked out tons of money for it, and you know what? It doesn't matter. My wife, she's on board with what I do. God's blessed me. To where if I can do, I'm going to do, and I do it. So if we had no supporters, the mission's still going on, and that's how it was our first 8-9 months, and that's okay.
Well, another thing too is Carolina Lake Weight's coming on, and it's a big deal for us too, because me and Chris have talked time and time again about how expensive tackle is, and the amount of money that I've saved in tackle alone using helps us. Like Rich said, everything comes out of pocket. So being able to use a product that saves me time and money, it's amazing. Like I said, I'll hands down it's all around saving
I'll
us
be right back.
We appreciate that, Hayden. And I'll tell you, me and Jamie were having this exact conversation last night. And he's like, man, Chris, how many of those out of because I got 100 dragging weights a year ago. And he said, how many of those do you got left? And I went and I looked. I'm like, well, I got 50 in my shop. I got 25 in my boat, in the can in my boat. I've given away a lot. Out of the 100, and I went and looked on the boat at my rigs. Half my rigs were from when I put them on. Like out of 10 rods, I still got 5 of the same weights on from the beginning, which to me is insane.
That's awesome.
Fucking you hold it.
In that same time frame, the weights I was using before, that I'll tell you, by just looking at them, they looked identical to a Carolina Lake weight. I mean, the company's defunct now, so I can tell you who they were. They're Bone Town. They look identical. They're obviously not the same. There are some major differences, but I lost 100 Bone Town in the same time that I lost 9 Carolina Lake weights. So
How much stuff?
when you talk about saving money, I got a Demon Dragon on there, a couple of line rattles, a Roscoe swivel that's probably 75 cents, almost a $2 hook now it's a $12 rig, and times 90, that's a big savings.
Oh, it adds up, and it's organizations such as Carolina Lake Weights, which I just got some in today.
Yeah, those are beautiful. That's my color right there, Rich.
Hey, look like dreadlocks or something.
You know I love that green. Yeah, that looks good.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
So these bad boys will be going on the rods this weekend. So, and what's funny is because when me and Jamie were talking, and because I made all my own weights for the last year and a half, and pretty much the same idea, but I really liked it. And
I used to do the same thing. I made all mine with lead. It's time consuming and it's not cheap.
No, you're exactly right. So I sat there and because I mean most of my fishing is dragging.
Me too.
You know, I've only anchor fished 3 times, twice with Derek and once with Anthony Brown during a tournament last year. I'm a dragger. And so losing tackle is just part of the deal, especially when you're going through stump fields. But you know what? I'm so stoked, and it's really companies like Carolina Lake Weights, Dale's Tackle, Mad Cats that take care of us. You know, that give us a break on our gear, so we can continue doing what we do. And it's so appreciative. I mean, you know, like so I went when I fished with another brand of rod for almost two years and liked them, never had any issues with the rods. And so I reached out to this company about maybe some possible sponsorship because I had like 20 or 30 of these rods. Never heard nothing. You know, and you know what? They were really busy. I know stuff was going on, and that's okay. You know, a matter of fact, you know, I've got kids. You know, some of my neighbors are just starting to learn how to fish. I'm giving them rods. You know, but I reached out to Matt, and this is, you know, this kind of tells you the type of person Matt is. So I reached out to Matt and seeing if he'd be willing to sponsor us. And he said, and so we were talking a little bit, and he said, hey, I've got a bunch of stuff coming. Which one of my rods do you use? And I said, well, I don't know how well your rods are. I hear from everybody. I've ordered some. They're coming in, but I've been fishing with this brand. And he told me, he said, Rich, he said, you know, normally I wouldn't sponsor it because you're not using our product. But you know what? I just I'm feeling led. Something about what you guys are doing is just, you know, and Matt has just been phenomenal since we started all this. And that's where it comes into loyalty.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I'm going to be loyal to Mad Cats.
I think, you know, you're going to find that most of us guys that are using them are like Mad Cats. You know, I'm with them, and I'm proud to be with them. You know, I think it's cool.
Absolutely. I mean, I'll get on the phone and I'll be talking to Matt or something, or I'll just hit me up. As you guys see, I'm working. I'm trying to design our first jersey.
Yeah,
and,
isn't that fun?
Oh my gosh!
How long were you on the phone with me last night?
Oh my God! I was on the phone with Derek. Until like almost midnight, and because I was helping him redo his actual Patriot Catfishing Club logo. So we're doing that stuff, and I'm trying to do this, trying to do that. Some of you guys, I'm sorry, I thought Jamie was going to slap me this morning. Take me off this text. And so,
hey, that's funny because me and Jamie talked about that today, and I'm like, he's like, did you get in some text stream? What was that? And I'm like, that's Rich, man. That's Operation Nets with Vets. He's showing off those jerseys. Like, I didn't see any jersey. I said, yeah, I saw your text. I thought you were joking. Jamie said, remove me. Who is this? Remove me from this text stream.
You know, Rebecca tells me all the time, she says, Jamie, when you got numbers in your phone, you need to put names beside them. Because, you know, I'm bad for that. And I'm sitting there going, man, I know this number.
That wouldn't have worked anyway because I texted you, I think either from my business line or one of them. So, but, you know, and I'm like, well, it is kind of early because I woke up yesterday morning with this. I've been trying to get a jersey done since April. And,
oh, man, tell me about it.
So Dale from Dale's Tackle hooked me up with who he's going to get his jersey. And so I've been working with them. And so then I started, start putting some things together. And I'm calling Derek, and we're going through, I'm shooting him emails and looking at this, that, and the other thing. And then my wife tells me, oh, you need to change this. She tells me this morning. And I'm like, oh, I can do that because unfortunately, there was a family emergency. So not with me, but with the guy I'm dealing with. So I said, listen, don't worry about it. I'll talk to you next week or something like that. Get you all the designs next week.
So who's doing it?
LB Brooks from
hey, he's doing ours.
I know. Well, see, that's good because he's doing that.
We've been doing ours since April or before April.
Yeah.
Well, see, I reached out to somebody else since April, and just we haven't been able to. I keep calling, and me, yeah. I'm a person. Hey, if you can't call me back to a certain time, right on. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
But if I feel like I'm being like brushed aside or getting kind of ghosted for whatever it might be, you know what? Then okay, you don't want my business.
Right.
And that's okay.
I didn't feel that way with him. It's been a long process of back and forth and back and forth. And, I mean, he is working with me and it's been, it's just a long process of, I want this. And then it comes back and it's not what I wanted. And then we make some changes and then I give him a punch list. He brings it back to me. It's still not, I want this one big, this logo bigger. I want these three smaller. Move this one down 2 inches. And every time you do it, it's another week.
and I'm okay with that because the time so if I have these jerseys ready by the fall, that'll be perfect.
Well, Rich,
and then I'll put
these
out
were supposed to be our spring jerseys. Now we're, it's like, damn, should I go ahead and just tell them to put some long sleeves on these damn things? Because I'm getting short.
Oh, yeah, mine are long sleeve.
We got fall jerseys, but our team has grown exponentially since the winter, and we want, all our guys want to be rocking a cool team jersey, and I'm thinking, well, we need short sleeve because it's nobody wants these long sleeves in the heat of the summer. And now I'm thinking, damn, just go ahead and add the long sleeves.
and what I like when I'm talking to LB is everything is done in it from stitching the shirts.
That's what I like about it.
So I'll pay the because there's plenty of guys out there a lot cheaper.
Yeah, but they're coming from Pakistan, and I told Jamie I don't want our jerseys from Pakistan. I'd rather them be made here.
Yeah, that's right.
Pay a little
so
more.
I rather pay more.
Yeah,
I rather pay more, and that's okay because then you're going to get that quality.
Right, because these jerseys are something our guys wear every week to fish in. And, if you spend the money, you might as well get what you want and one that's going to last every week, all year, going through the washing machine.
Yep. Exactly.
They take a pounding. And I will say we used tournament logo wear last time, and the quality was there. But they were very expensive. And we had a lot of production problems where they would send the jersey and it was wrong. And then it would, I don't know, it takes 2 months to make them. So it would be 2 more months before the remake. They did that 3 or 4 times. And like, so we jumped ship, went to the LB because we met LB at CatCon and he's a real nice guy. And
Yeah, Dale turned me on to him because I was trying to go with somebody closer to us, and but you know what? To me, it's if you got good customer service, you got a good quality product, and it's made in the USA.
That's number one.
Then I'll take less because everything we sell as far as swag. I mean, everything goes back into Operation Vets with Nets. There isn't one single cent that goes to anybody else. So all this goes back to the vets. So, and that's okay. We'll make less of a profit, but we're going to be happy with the product.
yeah, we're going to offer them to our team, but with the name, but then we're going to offer them to customers as well. I don't think Jamie's really going to make much off of them. It's just something cool that people want. I think our short sleeves were 40, and I don't remember what he quoted me on the long sleeves, but we're going to start with the short sleeves, a guy and a girl version, and we're going to do a hoodie, which I'm just starting with the initial design. I haven't even gone on to but it should be fairly easy to scale that. But how much are your long sleeves, if you don't mind me asking?
What the?
Yeah, y'all's long
How much
sleeve.
we're going to sell them?
How much?
We're going to be selling them for probably a flat rate of probably $7 for shipping.
Okay.
For the long sleeve and now, but if we get we're going to have a pre-register.
So when you pre-register, people pay up front, then you can put their name on the back.
That's
is that what
exactly
your plan
it.
is?
Yep.
Okay.
And so if we get more, if pre-sale goes off, well, I'll run the pre-sale for like 2 weeks. If it goes off well and I order more shirts, hopefully he'll lower the price by a couple of bucks. Then what I'll do is I'll lower my price by a couple of bucks and to make the shirts more, so.
Yeah.
What I think is important before we continue on talking about what this stuff is, one thing, we met Hayden, and he kind of told you the story with how we set them up in Central Texas, but then we got Derek. So,
Yeah. So Derek, tell us how you got on and kind of your story.
I retired from the Navy after 22 years in February. I've been fishing local tournaments around this area for quite some time, and my wife and I wish she was here with me right now because she's one of the she allows me to be able to do what I do the most. I don't have to work a 9-to-5 job right now, so I'm putting all my time and effort into Rich and Operation Vets with Nets and my own fishing tournament that we run here. And but I was already taking veterans out every tournament. And I think Rich kind of saw that and saw what we were doing. I had pre-ordered one of his T-shirts for Operation Vets with Nets to support him. And then we met locally to pick them up, and we kind of had a sit-down chat about it and what we were doing already. And my wife and I kind of already knew exactly what we needed to do. It was the right situation, and we're helping him out, helping his organization grow. And like I said, we were already doing it. That just shows how, grateful we are to the veterans, and we've taken active duty as well.
Yep.
At any chance I can get, I have no problem putting somebody on my boat and taking them out on the water.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Donna, if she's not braiding her hair, she's one heck of an angler.
You're pretty good.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. So,
Yes, you're pretty good.
Rich, what's your plans? What do you have any what's your idea of what you're wanting to kind of get it to, or a near future and then a little further down the road?
So I would get things set up where I have either, and I call them the joint task force. Like Chris, you would be part of the joint task force because you said, hey, if anybody reaches out from North Texas, let me know and I'll take them out. So like Anthony Brown, he's part of our joint task force. He takes vets out. Anthony and I mean, Anthony's great. He's stayed at my house, a couple times. We've gone fishing. Anthony's just a great guy. And so anybody who doesn't want to start like a full-blown chapter of Operation Vets with Nets, then we start, what we call the Joint Task Force. And so now my goal, hopefully, is we have folks in every state, because bottom line is, when I was running the numbers, when I was first starting the organization, so when I was running numbers in 2020, it was like we had 685,000 disabled vets.
Yeah.
That was back then. Now I'd imagine maybe more. I don't have the numbers in front of me with the folks that suffer from PTSD, but those numbers are too high. And so if I'm able to, provide that out, that allowing them to get that real therapy and just get away from life's stressors, for a day, then you know what? Then we're doing our job. So I'd like to see, joint task force folks popping up all over, and then hopefully full-blown chapters of Operation Vets Win Nets. Like Hayden and Derek have their chapters of operation. So they're going to do things to build up the organization and the name. They're going to go out and meet with folks and try to raise funds for their chapter so they can continue doing what they're doing. And I'm hoping within the next 2 years, because we've got that awesome wheelchair boat we spent 8 months building.
Yeah, that thing's cool. I got a picture of it. Go ahead and keep talking.
Yeah. So we spent 8 months, and that boat was donated, and we spent a lot of money and a lot of work on it. There you go.
Wow, that's awesome.
So we were talking about what we could probably do for you. I mean, we got a lot. We know a ton of anglers that, and a lot of guys have a special place in their heart for vets. And, I would imagine we could probably help hook you up with that, your support team to take people out fishing. I know every little bit helps because, I totally get that. So hopefully we can help in some form or fashion to do that. Fishing has a way of bringing people together, and I think catching big fish is something that changes people's lives for the better every time.
Absolutely. And if you think about it, when you're going out there and you're fishing, there's so many different things that you're actually accomplishing. You're getting your cognitive skills, you're learning something new. Especially if you didn't know, like when people, most of the time when I talk to folks, when they get on our website and request a trip, all right, do I need to bring rods, reels? What do I need to bring? I said, all you need to bring is whatever you want to munch on for lunch.
Yeah.
I got everything else. And hopefully, because I've got a wish list on Amazon for Operation Vets Win Nets. That's where a lot of folks have been buying things for the boats. I got I put on there a grill for a pontoon boat that I can put on the rails. I just recently put that up not too long ago. Hopefully somebody will get that. So then they don't even have to bring lunch, man. I'll be out there cooking hot dogs and kibasi or whatever, And so our next goal is as far as what we want to accomplish is I'm trying to get a regular catfishing boat. And you guys know what I mean by that. Because if there's a vet, for instance, saying, 3 hours from me, there's nobody in the area that I know that can take them out, I want to be able to travel to them and take them out. And so if I have to make it a weekend trip, I'm going out and taking them out. And it's so much easier to do that with a much lighter boat. If you haven't pulled a pontoon boat down the highway, and I know Derek has, I mean, if you haven't pulled, they're a pain in the hind parts.
That's a white knuckle adventure.
Yes.
And so
She's still hooked up, actually.
So we got a lot of guys that, like I said, we could probably. I don't know. I don't know how we could do it, but I think we could probably get something together where we probably maybe do some type of online tournament to raise money, but then also get some of these guys that we're friends with to take guys out from time to time. So, we got guys like Kevin Palmetto Cats. I'm sure he'd be willing to do something for the vets. I know Roger. He'd be all about doing that. We've already got our teammate Ken Ferguson, who's on board with you.
oh yeah,
Freddie's a vet. I'm sure he'd be willing to do something for the vets. So, I mean, fishing is a cool thing, and hopefully we can help you guys.
Yeah.
Do in some form or fashion. So,
Chris, just that little bit of bonding time, just being out there on a date or a night trip, just getting to know each other, just to talk, just to fellowship, just takes their mind off, like you were saying earlier, off so much, just to hear that laughter, watching them catch fish. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, fishing's therapy.
It is. It's real therapy.
Real therapy. Yep.
That's
sure.
right. Real therapy. And what's funny is,
So
I've
we
got
got
a lot of
Bendis.
advertising on the back of my truck, and one it says, "Are you a disabled vet in need of real REL therapy?" And then it's got my business number.
Yeah, I
And
saw
somebody
that.
actually called me. I was on my way on a week-long bike trip going up northern New York, Canada, with my baby brother and some of his friends. And so I had a guy call me. He saw my truck going down the highway. And so, but my wife said, I think it was my wife or my sister-in-law said, you might want to put something fish related underneath that, because, or somebody may think you don't know how to spell. And I started laughing. I said, but you know what? That makes sense. And so I wish I could find the graphic, because I'd love to put it on a t-shirt or something. But I made this one graphic. It looks like the fisherman's hooked and he's riding a dinosaur type fish with these big teeth, and it's really cool. And but it does. It gets those guys or gals minds away from life stressors, a work, and I've actually taken out families, and I've had a request if they can bring their family, even a service support dog. I'm like, absolutely, and especially when you bring when a woman or a guy is suffering from PTSD from something from their service, and sometimes they become introverts. They don't interact a lot with their family. They're trying to deal with, but if you could take a guy or a gal with a kid out there, number one, you're building memories.
Yes.
And then you're interacting with them and catching fish and having that camaraderie and then laughing. And so you've accomplished so many things just in that one trip. You've got that person away from life, so they can just focus on just.
I think it goes way beyond just that day that you're there too. So a guy that catches some big fish that he may not used to be catching those, it's that thrill will be with him every single day for at least 2 or 3 weeks. But then the memory is a lifetime deal. It's just burned into your brain, and you will always remember that day of greatness, and you can always go back on it and have a good thought. You think about that day, and you're like, man, that was awesome. And
like down here in Texas, man, I take soldiers. I try to take a new soldier fishing every week, twice a month at least. And, the big, I could who have employments and a lot of domestic violence. These soldiers don't have a way out. They don't have a way to go and do something. They don't have hobbies because they've done enclosed themselves in their own mind, and they don't go and do things. And so I'll take a soldier fishing, and then next weekend all the stuff I run. So he'll order all this stuff, and then he's out on the bank the next weekend fishing on his own.
Yeah,
and it gives him a way to get away from his family and give a little time to himself. And that's a huge thing. I see that a lot. Taking these active service members out with me.
Absolutely.
Suicide's a big thing, but then even guys find an outlet, find something else to do besides, a lot of my soldiers get in trouble at the bars around here. Chris knows the clean area. It's not very safe around here.
Yeah.
So these soldiers, giving them a lake to go to and somewhere where it's quiet and they can focus on themselves. That's a huge deal too. Not just trying to help them heal from PTSD and help them cope with things, but just simple day-to-day life stuff. It gives them that outlet.
Our vets, they've given so much to our country, for all of us to be free. But for us to just give back just that much, is something that, I feel like there's a lot more we could do. And myself, Rebecca, Chris here at Carolina Lake Weights, just one little step that we can help just fills our hearts. And if we could get everybody out there to do the same thing, to give back to our vets that has given it all, for the ones that hasn't come back home to their families, but for the ones that's here, that if we could just help, just grow that brotherhood, that, just our, it's hard to put in words what it, what it really means. But
I think fishing is life changing. Let's be real. I mean, a lot of, I would imagine for most of the guys in here, some of our best memories in life probably are fishing related. And I know a lot of people probably don't really understand that, but then I'll take people that don't fish and bring them on the boat. And it was 10 years ago. And they're like, that time we went fishing, that was the best time of my life. I'm like,
yep.
And
it's, and just think about when you're doing that, you're saying you're taking a vet out and they bring their son or daughter. Here's a good example is last January or January.
Tornado at the door.
I was it was my first official Operation Vets with Net trip, and it was my neighbor in Lake Gaston, and he's got a son on the spectrum, and so we go out. It's 18 degrees out. I have no enclosure. It's on my personal Tri-Tune, so I got him a motorcycle helmet to put on his head, so as we're moving, it's keeping, it's freezing out. But you know what? It's a time that it's the only time he had, and he's active duty Army, getting ready to retire, and so we took him out, and we got on our first fish with probably about 10 pounds, and we're calling him, and he didn't want to get up. He was so cold. That's why I can't wait till I get an enclosure on this Tri-Tune. But then his dad reeled it in, and he saw the excitement in it with his dad was having. So the next fish we got, which is probably about a 15-pounder on the line, he jumps up, and here he is. And there's videos. You can check out the videos on there. I've got them on my website and stuff like that. And here he is, real with this big motorcycle helmet. And we're told, he talks about that trip all the time. And so when you're able to get away from life's stressors, but then build that memory with your son or your daughter, man, that impact alone could impact that kid for the rest of his life, and that relationship with his dad, or her mother, whatever the situation may be. And so if we're able to contribute towards that by just taking them out, and we'll go out and they'll be like, Rich, there's another fish on. I said, all right, well, you know how to use that rod and reel. Go ahead. They're like, you haven't reeled anything in. I said, listen, I fish all the time. I said, I don't need to be catching anything. Go. And I had one guy, I took him out, and he was on a 45-pounder. I'm like, damn, I should have took that one. But, and I told him, hey, if it looks like we got any kind of records, you hand me that rod and reel. And they're laughing, and it's just, and I guess I know probably Derek and Hayden can attest to this, is not only are we, we're not therapists, we're not doctors, we're not any of this stuff. So what we provide is that real therapy, but it's not just therapy for those guys either. My matter of fact, we did a wavy, the biggest news station in the area here did a big story on us, and she asked me, she goes, do you get therapy out of doing? And I said, I probably get more therapy out of this, taking somebody else out, than they probably do.
I agree. It's
so therapeutic, and my wife knows when I'm stressed from work, like right now, I've got to have my evaluations due in by tomorrow. I haven't even started them because I've been so busy. Then I've got to manage and put together a friggin' $1 million budget that's due in a week and a half. And I'm like,
but don't forget about those jerseys.
oh, but you got to wear those jerseys. Yeah, absolutely. And I got to order more T-shirts. And, and so, my job is stressful as hell. But you know what? My wife knows if I'm really stressed now, because she can tell. And she'll be like, I think you need to go to the lake. I'm like, I'm picking up what you're putting down. Off I go. And then I try to then I'll reach out. All right, we got any vets in the area? Let's go fishing.
That's it. So, and I know we've talked, and you've got a lot of exciting things coming up. You want to share some?
We do. We are hoping, and God willing, we want to create our own Operation Vets when that's almost like an ice bowl. We're going to be reaching out to some corporate sponsors, hopefully here in the Hampton Roads area and the Lake Gaston area. And we want to have almost between a $5,000 and $10,000 payout.
Man, that's going to be a big money tournament.
It is, and so so what's that do? Whatever, it helps us, number one, with with the proceeds of that after payout. It helps us put into a savings account the money towards the boat I was talking about. And it also funds, the trips that we do, and it gets, and I want it to be to where, and I don't want to, and me and Derek were talking about this the other day because he fished the ice bowl last year. So he's giving me he's getting me the rules, and it's going to be a trailer tournament, but on Lake Gaston. They can't fish anywhere but Lake Gaston. And so if we get these sponsors lined up, then we're going to shoot for Veterans Day. And hopefully, from what everyone's telling me, when you have a payout of 5,000 plus, you're going to have 100 plus boats. So that would be great. And so, and if this turns out well, we're just going to do it. We're going to do it annually. So we're excited about that, because then I want to make a requirement, but then Derek goes, "You really don't want to do that." But I think every boat should have a vet on it, because
Hey,
the whole purpose is this is for the vets.
yeah, I don't think there's a problem with that, and I think it'd be cool if you were able to get vets that want to go fish it, and then
That's
line
exactly
guys
how we
up
were
with,
discussing.
and get them on the boats.
That's it.
Yeah, and
I mean,
and then,
we host kid fishing tournaments, and that's what I do with for the kids. A guy's like, "Well, I fish the bank." I'm like, "I got a million buddies that fish. Let me call one of them. I bet you I can get you on one of their boats, and you might, heck, I'll put you on one. And you might have a chance of winning the thing." So, I think it's cool lining people up, and that's another thing. The guys I've lined up, they've become like great friends, and they fish. They've gone fishing time and time again after I hooked them up on the tournament. So it goes way beyond that day. Just like I said earlier about fishing.
You know, this is an amazing idea, and I challenge everybody. I love to see you have 200 plus boats at this tournament.
Oh, I don't know if Gaston can hold that, but yeah, I'm with you.
You know, anything
We'll be
for our
doing
vets.
weigh-ins way into the night. But and the thing is that'll expose, number one, the organization, but that will bring the masses of veterans together, because I don't, if we have 200 boats, I can almost guarantee that each boat captain knows a veteran, and so I mean, like Anthony Brown, him and Jason, they'll go to wherever they're fishing, they'll find a vet and they take a vet out. It's so cool. He's like, "Call me, all right, I got this vet." I'm like, "Right on," and so I guarantee you, if not, once we really start marketing this, once we know we're going to do it, and we have the sponsorship lined up, like when I was talking to you, Chris, like I was talking to one of my board of directors, and she's like, "Ain't that soon? Don't you need 6 or 7 months of advertising for?" I said, "No, this is the catfishing industry. That once word gets out, there's a tournament that's got a payout of $5,000 to $10,000, and it's a veterans tournament. You know what? You could put that out 3 weeks ahead of time, and you're gonna have plenty of boats there." So of course I want to advertise I want to get Matt to push it, you guys to push it, and all our other sponsors, Dale's and stuff like that, to push that, and so and we're gonna probably come with a 3-tier level sponsorship, and that should really help towards our goal of getting that next boat. So then we can travel. It's so much easier, especially some guys, they might not be confined to a wheelchair, but still traveling could be difficult, or they don't feel really super comfortable, but they got a lake near their area, and I'll do some research on the lake, and guess what? I'll get them out there, and then I'll just travel with the boat, or I'll call Derek, "Let's go, man." Or if I convince Hayden and his wife to come back where the roots started, come back to Virginia, there you go.
Well, you got me in a room full of Texas boys, and I'm from East Texas. I'm from Tyler, Texas, man. That's where I was born and raised.
Oh, hell, I'm a Texas boy.
With this weather, I might move back now.
You're right. Yeah, I've got family in Plano and Elderly around Gilmer, so they've been telling me about the heat.
It's not quite as hot here in South Carolina, but it's still muggy.
It's muggy. Yep.
While Chris is away, I'm gonna tell you right now, if he's gonna help out with the northern Texas, I'm gonna go ahead and book a trip with him. I'm gonna take advantage of that.
Between him and Jackson, man, they put a lot of big fish on that boat.
No, I know. I talked to Chris and one of our other buddies to help us run Hook'em, Jesse. We're gonna, without Jesse because he's with you guys. We're trying to all get together when it cools down a little bit and go out and do some fishing.
I tell you, that'll be an amazing trip, man. Because I watched Jackson and Chris, man. I mean, damn guys, especially Jackson. He put some big fish on the boat. That's for sure.
Yeah, you getting them.
He's showing me up. But it's amazing what y'all guys are doing. It really is. And here at Carolina Lake Breaks, we just want to get the word out for y'all. Spread the word at the good that y'all doing. I mean, and it touches a lot of hearts, man. And people love hearing this. This day and time, the world just needs a whole lot more. We can just get everybody just to open up their hearts a little bit and just, help our events all they can. It would be amazing.
It's just spreading the word helps us out so much.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I know myself and Rebecca, we're like I said before, we're just so blessed, that if we could just do it, just a little bit, we feel blessed on it. And whatever y'all guys need and whatever we can do, I mean, let's just keep the word spreading. Let's help our veterans.
And that, and that's really key. That's what it's about. If you look at back in the day when our military were coming back from Vietnam, okay, and all the protests and call them baby killers here in the Hampton Roads area, they used to, and this ain't no lie, people would put on their grass signs saying, "Dogs and sailors stay off the grass." Now, yeah, sailors have got a history of drinking heavily. I know. I'm an alcoholic. I haven't had a drink since 2007, so I know. I could attest to that. But and you think about everything those guys were subject to coming home, and we don't want that. We want to feel these guys. We want them to feel loved. And I mean, you got your Gulf War vets. I'm a Gulf War, Desert Storm, Iraqi vet. I did my time, and we want these vets when they do come home to feel that they've accomplished something, and they have a support system also.
That's it. And that's so good that you're putting such a group together, such a good organization. It's amazing at what y'all are doing. It really is.
Well, it's like guys like Hayden and Derek and some other folks. It ain't me. You know what? I just had the idea. I birthed the idea. It's really those volunteers that reach out and help. They're really the backbone of the organization. It was funny is Derek. I had a guy in Raiden. Is that how you say it, Derek? Down there in Carolina, Raiden.
I'd have to grab my notebook and tell you where it was.
It's by the Noose and stuff like that. And I didn't know anybody down there that I could reach out to. And so Hayden says, "Hey, listen, you'll meet him tomorrow at the tournament." Chris Spencer, he lives in that area. He fishes that area. And so me and Chris, started talking at the ramp before the tournament. And he said, "Dude, I'm all over it. Let me know." And so we talked afterwards. I gave him all this guy's contact information. He's reaching out to him, and he texted me. He said, "Dude, I've already taken him out fishing." I said, "Have you?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Dude, he's awesome." He said, "I'll look forward to this trip again." He says, "I said, wow, that's a small world." And he told me, he goes, "You let me know anytime you got anybody in the area. Let me know." JBN, you guys had him on last week. JBN, good guy. Lives only 45 minutes from my lake house. He's like, "Hey, if I'm on the water and you need somebody, you let me know." Yeah, and there's so many other people have done that as well. So really, Operation Vets with Nets has nothing to do with me except Yeah, I birthed the idea, or not the idea, because there's other organizations that do what we do. But the idea for Operation Vets with Nets, it's all our donors, our supporters, those anglers out there, willing to do this. They could be sitting there out there fishing with themselves or with their buddies, but no, they choose to go ahead and take some time and take a vet out. So it's really those people that I'm thankful for. And folks like you guys that and it was funny is when Hayden got me talking to Jamie, and we were talking, and he's like, I don't know so much. We can do some things, this, that, and the other thing, and we're a new company, blah blah. I said, dude, I'm not looking for freebies. I said, if you're able to save us a little bit, that's great. But you know what? Just being a part, being a part of you guys and having you guys a part of us is really what it's about. And I'm super stoked. I sat there and I've been so swamped the last couple of weeks, and I'm putting my list together the other day of what, because I was on my bike trip that I take annually. And I was doing other stuff and work, and I'm like, man, what was I supposed to do? And then I see a sticky on my computer in the office. Place Carolina Lake Weights order. Oh, that's what it was. So I get on there. Last week, and so I said, oh, and then it was like I don't know, Jamie, was it yesterday or the day before? Might have been a couple of days ago. And I said, hey, listen, I placed an order up here. I said, you said you were going to send me some things with it. Just add it to the order. He says, give me your order number. And he said, dude, he said, Rebecca don't waste time. Orders come out, orders go out. He goes, you don't waste time. He said, that stuff's already on the way to you. I checked my email and I said, oh yeah, I guess so. It arrives in 2 days. I was like, all right, well, next time. And I was like, I was like, man, I like when I order stuff and it gets that quick.
Yeah, she doesn't play around, man. She gets that thing out the next morning. That's for sure.
Yeah. And I'm friggin' digging it because it goes with my Mad Catch rods, my new ones. Yeah.
What rod you get? What rod you get, Rich?
It's, man, I wish I knew the name of it. It's not a goblin, but it's that
gremlin.
The gremlin.
Yes.
Gremlin.
Yep. And matter of fact, so I'm probably, while the family is sleeping this weekend, I may sneak out for an hour or two to do some fishing at night. Oh wait, I got to hook up my black lights. Okay, well, yeah, I'll get that done too, and see how
mine are already hooked up.
Pretty green looks at night. So,
yeah, those gremlins light up good, so you're going to love it, buddy.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm going to probably in the next couple of weeks placing another rod order because I'm getting with Derek because we're trying to, stock stuff up for Operation Vets when that's both him and I. So, we're probably going to be placing a good 10, 12 rod friggin'
Always use more Mad Cats.
Huh?
Yeah.
I feel like I always use more Mad Cat.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I feel sure we can get that boat stocked up with Mad Cats.
Yeah. And my wife sits there. My wife says, she sees a tube of rods coming in. She goes, more rods? I said, you got to understand. I go,
We about to really throw her for a loop then. You might get beat with the rod tube at that point.
I said, you got to understand. If I'm like saying, for instance, I'm on Gaston and I'm dragging, like I normally do, I use these certain type rods. I said, but if I'm going over to the James, I need a heavier rod.
Yeah.
I need different. If I'm out there trying to do maybe some striper fishing, because somebody bought me a downrigger to put on the boat.
Gotta have a different rod.
Gotta have different rods.
And who wants to have to re-rig all the time, Rich?
Exactly. And so, I said, in the summer, unless you're dragging in shallow water, I can use the same rigs. But once I get into the deeper water, we have a thermocline. It isn't like we have tidal. So
we
our
know all
thermocline's
about
about
that in Texas.
about 23 feet. So guess what? I need to run suspended baits. So who wants to re-rig all that? So I have my suspended. And then if I'm going out, bait fish, going out to catch my bait, I still don't know how to throw a cast net. So guess what? I need I need those really ultralight action rods for them perch and the bluegill and whatever else. So yeah, I said no, I don't have enough rods yet. And she's like, oh my gosh. I can't hear you, Hayden.
I got them for anchoring. I got them for dragging. I got a set now for carp fishing when I got to catch carp to go catch alligator gar. I bought some 10-footers because I need an alligator gar rod, right? So I got it's gotten ridiculous, but gotta have them, man.
My whole living room right now is jam full of the Mad Cat rods from one end to the other end.
Jamie's got problems.
So I tell people on Facebook posts that say they have an addiction, I say, you don't have an addiction, you just have a passion.
Yeah.
I just give away 18 of them, and we still probably got 30 more down there or better.
It's like crack. You can't have enough.
That's it.
When y'all get them, do y'all try to get a whole set of the same color, or y'all the guys that get one of each?
I got one of each.
Go ahead, Hayden.
Yeah, I ordered one of each. The only ones I ordered two of was the Micah Signature Series, but I should have just ordered one because now there's gonna be a second one. So.
Yeah, I've got orange crushes now, and I'm gonna fill in the gaps with some gremlins and.
Oh yeah, yeah. I started with
it's gonna be orange green all the way around.
I had a full set of orange crush, and then I went to the puzzle, and then I went to the goblin, or the goblin, and then the gremlin. I like that green.
All mine. The first 10 I got were all the Patriot ones because it goes with the theme of the boat.
Those are great looking rods.
They are.
And so and I was blessed by Fish by Rod Holders. They sent me their splatter one of the red, white, and blue. So I've got red, white, and blue, and then I've got some black ones on the front.
I saw that you're with Multibard. So did Colton.
Yes. So Colton,
he's been good to me. I imagine he's a good dude.
He is. And it's great, and it's a congrats out to him again because just recently he caught his PB. Well, he caught it from his wife, his girl, the baby, but the thing is that so I reached out to Colton, and he did me right, and so I've got the red, white, and blue there. And then I was freaking out because we were a week away from launching the wheelchair boat. I'm finally starting to put everything on there. And I had the 31-inch center, the centerpiece. And so I'm like, because originally, the original boat we were going to put them on, they were going to sit lower on the deck because it was a deck boat. But coming to find out, the deck boat, we couldn't make it wheelchair accessible. And so now I have these, so I built this platform because I got rid of all the seats in the back of the Tri-Tune. And then I had to cut railings to give me some more room. And so then I built out of wood a red, white, and blue fishing platform where I could put the rod holders and the what's that thing you use for striper fishing? I just mentioned it a while ago. The downrigger and our cutting board. And so I put them on there, and then these rods are way up high. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I said, Colton, I called Colton. I said, dude, I said, we had a change in design in boat, and these center center supports are way too long. And he goes, "What do you need?" I said, "What's your smallest one?" He said, "All right, they're on their way out." I said, "What?" He said, "I'll have them out to you tomorrow." And I'm like, "Dude, you're a blessing." And so I got them just a couple days later. Got them out. They were great. And what I realized though is if there's somebody in an actual wheelchair, and they're really not too mobile, I can put that rod holder, the 31-inch one, on his side, angle it back, and right there, sitting in his wheelchair, all he's got to do is reach up and pull it out. I'm like, oh my gosh, this works out perfect.
That's awesome.
Hey,
That's awesome.
So
Real
do
quick-
y'all pull planer boards?
Absolutely.
Do you
Yep.
have a planer board sponsor?
No, but the guy that taught me everything about catfishing, Zach Royce, I use his signature planer boards, and I love them. Now I won't use them.
I used Zach's boards for about 5 years.
Yeah, I love them.
I still got a
And-
set on the boat.
But
Yep.
I will tell you, I'm with Kevin Parks now, Parks Planer Boards. I was going to say, Rich, I could probably get you hooked up with him. He's one of the biggest supporters in the whole industry, regardless of what segment you're in, rods, whatever. He is a huge supporter, one of the best dudes I know. I'm pretty sure I could get him hooked. I could probably get you guys hooked up. And
All right, that'll work. That'll work. I mean, because
I like Zach too. That's how I got started in planer boarding about eight some odd years ago. So, but Kevin's my guy, man. I love that guy. He makes an incredible board, and he's so awesome. Such a great dude.
yeah, man, I'd appreciate it because I was thinking about getting because I bought my buddy Matt, who really is my right-hand man at Gaston, and I've offered him a position on our board of directors and everything else like that because he was a huge part of that boat rebuild for the wheelchair, him and his company. And so, I asked him because he uses Zach's planer boards as well. Him and Zach are very close, but he uses these smaller planer boards when we're suspend fishing because he'll use it as that float plus a planer. And I'm like, so I have a set of those as well. But yeah, I can definitely because if I'm gonna start getting into some of these tournaments and trying to learn to run 4 planer boards on one side and 4 on the other,
what's
then,
cool
hey,
about Kevin is he's got about 5 different varieties. So they are all specialized. He's got a big board for suspending big baits. He's got a river board for fishing in rivers, current. He's got a lake board. He's got I guess what he calls a bait board where they catch skipjack and stuff like that. He's got a crappie board.
wow.
So,
Okay.
I mean, not all boards are. You can't just do it all with one board. Like a lot of these companies just give you one board. So
Well,
I use 3 different boards.
I know I'll need something for the rivers because I want to start getting on the James.
Yeah,
So-
he's got a river board, what he calls a river board or a tournament board. So I'm gonna hook you guys up. He's a great guy. I'm pretty sure he'll be on board with it. I can't speak for him, but and you
Right.
also said that you've got a bait board. What bait board do you have?
Oh no, I don't have a bait board. No, the only thing I'm sitting out there, I have the smaller boards for suspend fishing, but no, man, I go out there and I'll grab my ultralights and sit there over some of my favorite.
No, I mean a bait cutting board.
Oh, so I thought you said bait board as far as planer board. So someone bought it off our Amazon wish list, and I kind of modified so I can mount it
like a magma.
And I don't know if it's it might be, but I'm looking to Fat Fish Designs.
Okay.
I talked to him, and he said he can make us one with our logo on it.
Right.
So I mean, I've been so swamped with other things, I haven't reached out yet.
I've got a planer board rack from them that actually Kevin gave me, just being nice. So a planer board rack that goes on the multi-bar. It's a sweet little addition. But we got a bait board guy that does our stuff for Carolina Lake Weights that does custom, and he fills it with a glow-in-the-dark epoxy. He can put your logo. He like routes whatever saying you want on the sideboards, on the fronts, the backs.
Oh man, cool!
All kinds of stuff, and it's really it's something else.
Yes,
that's one of the things that I probably get more compliments on my boat.
Man, you're getting me excited.
Somebody at the gas station will be like, "Damn, man, I like that bait board. Where'd you get that?" So,
mine actually, the one that Chris, you know, that we do a lot of our pictures on with the weights. It looks so good. I told Chris I hadn't even put it on the boat. You know, we always taking pictures with the weights and stuff on because everybody loves that bait board. But you know,
I was really impressed with just the quality of it, but the uniqueness of it. I bought Jamie's. I'm like, just thank you for, you know, being a good friend to me and, you know, taking care of me. So, Jamie, I don't know if you got it anywhere close. Is that anywhere near you could show?
It's actually in the shop.
Okay.
Out in the back. Matter of fact, we've got weights on it and hats on it. Where we're gonna do some more photos on it after the show and stuff. So. But
I hooked my buddy up, Patrick. He got one. He's one of our teammates, and he got one. He's like, Chris, that bait board's awesome. I'm like, well, I know a guy.
I know Derek needs a bait board. We use the top of his cooler.
Every cooler I got's got slice marks all over it, man.
Yeah.
That's
well,
but I'm proud of them.
Oh yeah, I'm with you. And Hayden's saying, "Yep, me too."
Okay, Ken's got a bait board, and we still cut it on the cooler.
It's all about the convenience, right?
Yeah,
it is absolutely
cooler, and then just start cutting right there on the top.
That's it.
Yep.
But I did see Bending Tip Catfishing said something about getting a hold of one of us. I do follow you on Facebook, so just shoot me a message, and I'll give you a phone call.
Yeah, I can get him hooked up. He's up in southern Oklahoma, southwest or south. I don't know. I'm not familiar with that side of the border. Texans don't venture over there too much, but he's a great guy. He's a vet, so I think it'd be a good connection. He said he's willing to take some guys out. He also said road trip for Rich's tournament, so maybe I can get Patrick to drive his boat up there, and I can jump on with him.
I imagine there's going to be a lot of us taking road trips to that tournament.
you know, and I'm hoping. I'm really, you know, I'm so stoked about this. You know, and like I said, you know, I called Derek, started talking to him, started talking to JBN about it. And then
he called me, told me you started having dreams and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Like, all right, Rich, we're good, but we ain't. Hold on.
Yeah, that's what he said to me, you know. And so and then he's like, "Man, I'm gonna start charging you. You're keeping me up way past my bedtime." I said, "Dude, hey, I'm working on your logo and the shirt, so I'm helping you redesign your logo or fixing it, you know, which is a really cool logo that he's got." And so
you got the logo on your T-shirt there, Derek?
No, that's Operation Vets and Nets.
Okay, that's a good looking T-shirt.
Yes.
What do you got? What are you rocking, Rich? Let's see what you're rolling with, buddy. Mad Cats. Yeah, that's standard issue gear for me these days. I see Hayden. He's rolling Carolina Lake Weights gear. Let's see the back of that one.
Oh man. Hold on, I got to find somewhere to put my phone down now.
Now, Chris, I've got that same shirt you're wearing there, the Patriot, and I put I reached out to Matt, and he said absolutely do it. I put this logo right here on the sleeve of the shirt.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
It looks really good on that pattern.
And
Yeah.
it's funny. It's funny is that at the tournament there was a whole bunch of us that had our jerseys on, and Derek had his shirt like yours on, and he's like, "Damn, I wore the wrong Mad Cat shirt." I mean, gee, man, we all had, you know.
Jamie, what are you rolling with? That looks pretty Mad Cattish. Oh, I see it. Okay.
There you
You
go.
got, yeah, you're rolling
I'll
with
tell you
is that the
what,
bulge?
Matt
Yep.
must be
Let's see
really
that
feeling
hat,
the love.
Jamie.
Huh?
Let's get a close up of that hat.
There you go.
Okay.
I need one of
Yep.
those.
You know I love that green, baby.
Let us know. We'll get you one too, you buddy.
Yeah. I'll order one next time I see him. But I didn't see. Y'all sell out of hats so fast.
I tell you, Rebecca turns and burns them so fast, and you know we've been very blessed with that. But we'll definitely get you hooked up. I promise you.
We again, you know, God's blessings pour out. I had a young lady down in the Gaston, or no, she's here in Norfolk, in the Hampton Roads area. But a friend of mine, a mechanic down in Gaston, was telling her about what we do, and she does a lot of work for the Navy, and she was Navy, and she reached and my buddy Richie called me. He said, "You need to reach out to her. Business has been so good for her this year that she wants to do something for Operation Vets with Nets." And so she is getting our hats made, you know, and these are cool, you know. So hopefully we'll have them in the next couple of weeks. But they're white with the American flag somewhere, I forgot. But then you'll have our Operation Vets with Net logo on the left panel, and underneath it'll say OVWN for Operation Vets with Nets. On the side, it's going to say providing our vets real therapy. And then on the back, where you adjust the size, it's going to have the American flag. When she sent me that hat, like she said, go to this website, pick your style hat. And so I did. And, but she says, well, she goes, let me show you what I was thinking. And she showed me that hat. I'm like, ooh, I like that. So I can't wait to get some. Like my sister-in-law, I was blessed. She made me these and sent me a bunch of them to give to the vets.
Is that like an iron-on type deal?
Yeah, it's what's the type of direct to transfer?
Yeah.
Type? Yep.
Yeah, I got some of those for my YouTube channel.
Yeah. So she
Let me
did this.
give you a suggestion. This guy right over here, he makes hats. He just now got into the hat making business. So Jamie, show him that hat real quick.
There you go.
I like.
Well,
Well, she's donating all these hats, so these are all free.
Yep.
So,
Oh well,
Matter of fact,
free's
Rebecca.
hard to beat.
Yep, Rebecca's going to be getting some bait towels and everything made also out to you too.
Yeah. The bait towels I'm looking forward to.
Yep.
And look at this ugly mug. Wait, there it is. We were in the Lake magazine. Last year they did it. This was our first big exposure. They did a big, and there's one of my best friends. There he is. I took him out, and we were doing it off my personal boat, which my wife is so glad to have her boat back. I removed all the fishing gear, took everything out. See, they did a whole spread on us, man. It's like, yep. So she goes, because I had somebody out and I was shooting a video.
Let's see it again, Rich. I put you in solo. Let's see it. I couldn't see it.
Oh, okay.
Love it, man. Love it.
Yeah, man. So I I caught about a 25-pounder. I was pulling him in, and I flopped him on the sofa seat as I'm trying to get the hook out of his mouth. And it was a cool video. And what's my wife say? What is that fish doing on my friggin' boat like that on the seat?
Sounds like my wife.
And so I'm like, well, he was like 25, 30 pounds. I don't care. You put him on the floor. And so needless to say, when I got back home, she had me scrubbing the boat all out. And so when we got the wheelchair boat, because it's just not for a wheelchair, it's just wheelchair accessible if we have. Matter of fact, I'm taking out a wheelchair vet in 2 weeks. And so anyway, she goes, I'm so happy to have my boat back. And I'm like, she goes, if I'd known we were gonna get a fishing boat, then we could have bought a pontoon type fishing boat. So I didn't know because I wasn't fishing then. And but yeah, if
At least you've got carpet. I've got that decking on mine, and I've about skid all the way across my pontoon boat with slime. You step in that slime when you were jumping for a rod bend, and it just, whoa. Here we go.
I learned that I need to wash my boat in the winter because I blew out a knee about, I think it was 3 years ago, slept and sliding on that slime. I'm like, all right, I guess I best wash my boat in the winter because
the
blowing out your knee ain't fun because you can't fish for 2 months after you do that.
The rain normally washes ours, so we just let it go.
That don't work, buddy. That just turns it black.
And my wife will sit there and we'll be at the lake and I'll be out fishing and I'll come back and my bibs are like full of slime. And so I go throw them right into the wash.
Oh, then she's mad at you. She's like, now my next load smells like slime.
And she's like, I just washed this. What's all this stuff? Then we put it in the dryer, and it's all this dry stuff. She goes, I said, she goes, what did you get on there? I said, that's catfish slime.
Yeah. So Jamie, what's the secret to getting out catfish slime?
The rain.
That's a.
You know, the other night myself and Rebecca, we were doing a live, and we were lucky enough, blessed to catch some nice fish. We caught one that was 58. Matter of fact, this is a shirt I had on, and when we picked it up, it just went, oh, and I was like, oh no. And we've yet to wash it out because I've always said never want to wash the luck out the boat. So we really haven't washed the boat. We just sort of let it.
I used to do the same thing, Jamie, but blowing the knee out pretty much, I was like, oh, that luck bullshit, that's gone.
Well,
not luck anymore. It's just dangerous.
Yeah, I used to do a lot of things for the luck. It was the hat, it was the slime, but I realized
peanuts on the boat and all this.
No, it's the fisherman. The longer you do it, the better you'll do. So now I just go fishing, and I thought I'm going to change my mindset. I think fish might like a clean boat. So I just started washing about every 3 trips. Now, it's a dirty boat. You've seen my boat. It stays pretty slimed up, but about every 3 trips, I'll wash that thing.
I think we've washed the one we got one time. I think it's been to the car wash one time.
See, the thing is, like, when we were using our personal tri-tune both fishing and for like in the summer, she's like, I know the winter is yours. That's when it's prime catfishing time.
Yeah.
The summer, that's for me and the family when our kids come down and all that. But you better keep that boat clean. And she'll get on there. She'll be looking around. She'll find hooks. She'll find weights. I thought you cleaned the boat. I said the boat is clean.
That was still a good hook. I just had to put it over there. Might use it next time.
Yeah.
That's
what cup holders are for.
We used to have a box we put all the weights and stuff in. Now we just throw them in the boat, and then we'll just pick them up next time and put them back on the rods.
I got stuff in every cup holder on my boat.
That's
what they're there for.
That's
Just put your
right.
drink on top.
That's it.
There's
you put the
one
drink
cup
on the
holder
dash.
that holds drinks. There's 10 cup holders that hold my hooks and weights.
Now, what? I mean, I don't know how many viewers we got on Facebook and within YouTube, but you asked the question. What's anybody out there? What do you guys use to get that slime off your clothes? I want to know.
It doesn't work, man. I'll tell you, my wife's like, you need to soak that crap in the tub. And when you do, you need to pour vinegar in there and then a little bit of detergent and leave it in there overnight before you put it in the washing machine so that it's loosened up. And I'll tell you, it does help.
I've always heard just pour a can of Coke in there.
Really? I
Yeah,
guess
that's
the
what we used
acid
to
eats
get. I was naval aviation. That's what we used to get all the grease out of our uniforms and stuff like that. You just pour a can of Coke in there with your laundry soap.
I'm going to try that. I'm going to try that because no matter what I do, she's still complaining about the next load after I'm done.
You know, myself and Rebecca, we have a tradition. If we have a good night of fishing or a good day of fishing, we'll actually want to stop by a restaurant or a Waffle House to get something to eat with the slime all over us.
Yes.
People are
yes.
like, what are y'all been doing? And she's like, we've been catching catfish.
You go to the fanciest restaurant in the town,
That's
too.
That's
Roll in there grinning from ear to ear.
That's it. Rebecca,
I think we just came up. I think we just found a niche where we can make our millions. We need to come together and figure out what we can concoct, what kind of concoction we can make that removes slime. Oh, we'd be millionaires.
Yeah. Yeah. You might
we would definitely sell a lot of it.
That's for sure.
But yeah, we enjoy that. So good Rebecca, she'd be leading the way right into a restaurant, all slimed up, hoodie and all, and just
Jamie, I can show a million fish pics with the biggest damn fish you ever saw, but the one where the guy's standing there like this with all the slime on him gets the most likes.
That's it. That's it.
They're like,
that's it.
That one gets 200 likes. The 75-pounder that's the lake record gets 50. It's like, what?
Yep.
People don't care about that. They like that slimed up. They're like, that guy's happy. I know he's a happy son of a gun.
That's it.
When I come home all slimed up, the wife would be like, good fishing day? I'm like, yeah.
Yep.
That's why I like it, because Donna just gets all slimed up with me. So
yeah, see, I wish I can get my wife to go fishing with me. And I keep trying to convince her, and she's like, baby, the more you ask, the more I'm going to tell you no. She goes, I'm like, well, you can read a book and I'll fish. And I'm like, she's like, that's your thing. You do you. I'm like, she'll go, you do you, boo. And I'm like, okay. But I think I'll get her out one day. And then when she sees it, and she sees that big fish, and I don't know, maybe she'll be like, oh.
Now seeing is one thing. You got to get on that pole and start fighting it. Then it'll really change your mind.
I've done that. My wife's the same way, Derek. My wife, I'll take her. She's caught big fish, but it's cold. So she's like, well, I don't want to go. And, you think it's fun, but I don't like fishing in the cold. But then 3 weeks later, she said, your YouTube channel would be a lot more popular if I fished on it. Well, why don't you come fishing? I mean, we're out here every damn weekend all year long.
Ours wouldn't be nothing without Rebecca. Everybody loves Rebecca, so I just go. She's the one that everybody loves, man. I mean, she catches.
Yeah.
And see, it's the same way. My family, they're like, I mean, they all love me. I know they love me, but then when they meet Vicky, they're like, we got your back, Vicky. We got your back. And I'm like, hey, wait a minute. You've known me for 56 years. You just met her. Yeah, that's it. We've known you for 56 years. I'm like, wise asses.
Ryan says, I haven't cleaned my boat in years. Finally brought it home a couple of months ago and power washed it. My wife walks out and said, have you started yet?
Oh, too
hell.
funny.
Well, Rich, man, I'll tell you, y'all guys are doing something wonderful. Y'all really are. And, I hope every one of our, everybody that's been watching tonight, I hope it's helped them. I hope their hearts is full. And, I can't thank y'all guys enough for what y'all doing. And I know us here at Carolina Lakeway, so we're going to stand behind y'all, and we hope this thing just explodes.
And we're gonna show just as much love and support to you guys. It's important that it's always, because there is no I in team. It's always got to be a mutual respect for one another, helping each other out. Because I've learned and I've seen, unfortunately, that there's too many. Oh, you like this rod company? Oh, don't come sit with us. Or you like this, that, or you like this kind of gear. So you got those clicks, and I'm not a clicky person, and so when I'm able to, somebody comes on and willing to support us, we're willing to go to the ends of the earth for you guys as well. Every time I do an interview, I'm always like, well, it's thanks to this company, this company, this company, this. They never add that into the interview, especially on the news. But what's good is, at least with our local TV station, that on their website they have the video, but then they have the full write up, and then they do mention the folks we mentioned, because I think it's important that it's how a small company can grow, is when you're helping others, and then those that are helping you get out and they market your stuff, they share their stuff, they tag you, they start building, helping you build the brand, because that's what it's all about.
Rich, that's exactly how we've done it at Carolina Lakeweights. I've told Jamie, he allowed me to build our team, and we've been really, like, we go back and forth every day about what we think we can do to try to build it and try to get better. And I think, building those relationships from day one was important. I told him, I don't know what we actually going to get out of it, but the more of these types of relationships that you can build, it eventually starts working synergistically, and you all start helping yourself. We're all small. We're all actually very small. When we first got on with Mad Cats, they were small. Now they're huge. They're kind of help drag us along. And then, we're pulling on little guys, and we're trying to help them. And then, they may take off and get bigger than us and be able to pull us along a little bit. And I think, putting it all together, eventually, when you have enough team, a strong enough team, you're all really helping each other.
Everybody benefits.
It's kind of like a force multiplier. It's like each one of us individually is very small and insignificant, but when you put the whole team together, we're pretty dominant force. We're forced to be reckoned with. I'm proud of the team that we're building. So I'm glad you guys have decided to come on board, and it's really an honor. I mean, to have, for what you guys are doing, to let us be a part of it.
And it's an honor for us as well.
I think it's cool.
And I can tell you, Carolina Lakeweights is always going to fight for our veterans. We can't never give enough for our veterans. That's one thing about it. And
I want to thank Hayden, because we became friends really quickly. And he's like, Chris, what do you think about, maybe getting Carolina Lakeweights and Operation Vets with Nets hooked up? I said, dude, I think that's a freaking great idea. We're small, y'all are small. So, I mean, we're all just trying to find our way. But I think linking up, we can probably help y'all a little bit, and y'all can help us a little bit, and we can grow together. And who knows where it's going to be in 3 or 4 years from now. Who knows?
Hayden.
Things are happening rapidly.
Hayden kept reaching out to me. It's all right. I'm trying to work with Carolina Lakeweights, and So he'd keep calling me back and forth. But he said, I got to get you plugged in with Jamie and Rebecca. I said, dude, I'm all about, and I said, it is, let's help each other.
Yeah.
And then I had a chance to talk to Jamie and Rebecca on the phone, and I think right off the bat, we thought it was a good fit right after the first conversation.
I think it's a great fit. And if nothing else, we can get some of our anglers, to take some guys out. And really, in reality, is if you can help one guy, you've done it.
You've done it. You've done it.
That's
Yep.
it.
Or where you sit there and somebody that person you take out catches a 30, 40, 50 pounder, and they're like, dude, and they're all excited about it. And then they start asking you, like, hey man, I'd like to get me some fishing. What gear did I use to catch that big, that fish? Oh, well, okay, let me tell you. Well, the hooks were from Dale's Tackle. These are the blood hooks that I use. Our weights were Carolina Lake weights. Our rods were from Mad Cats, and as I start utilizing, the rods, and I start replenishing them, I'm going to be giving away the other ones. Because it isn't like I need to replenish the rod or something like that. Because it ain't like, I've had this for 3 years, time to replace it. No, they're top quality rods. No need for that. But you pass it on. You give somebody a rig for themselves. It gets them fishing, and next thing you know, they're part of the fishing community and having a great time.
That's it.
Yep.
That's what it's all about, man. Just giving back.
Yep.
That's like Chris and Josh, the guys I turned you on to at that tournament for down that way around the Neuse River and everything.
Yep.
I gave away a Mad Cat's rod at one of my tournaments, and their name was drawn. Dude, I had a 4-year Marine active duty guy with me on that tournament this day, younger fella. And he hadn't been catfishing in years, he said, and he almost like he forgot how to do it. But those guys won that pole, walked right over to this kid and handed him the pole, said, we don't need this. Here, you take it.
Yep.
To watch that guy's face just light up, it's like how much like they made his day, 1,000%.
Yeah, they probably made his year.
That kid's reached out to me several times. How do I use this thing? I went out here to this place, and where should I look? Where should I try to fish? And I help him out,
And that's
memories that kid's gonna carry for a long time.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, and fishing has a way of bringing people together and like putting people in contact and being friends with people you probably would have never met before. For instance, this crew right here, without, Jamie bringing me on, then us building this show. Now here I became friends with Hayden. Then all of a sudden I'm friends with Rich. Now I'm going to be friends with Derek. None of this would have been possible without the fishing part of it. So I think it's cool. And
need some bait. I just had some bait walk up to me. Anybody need a toad?
But this is just the start of something this good. I mean, this is just the start. So I'm excited and can't wait to see where this goes.
Yeah, so you guys are welcome to come on the show, back on the show anytime. I've had a great time talking with you guys.
Yes.
It's going to be interesting to see kind of where it all leads. And, in 2 years when we come back and or next year when we come back and have another show, what are we going to be? We're going to be looking back on, hey, remember that show we had and how far we've come. So,
or what you do is, if this tournament, which you know what, I know, because none of this would be happening without God. I know God's got a plan for this tournament, and so you're going to have to come down from North Texas to come to the tournament and shoot a live show, an El Gato live show. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Definitely.
And it's up, not down from Texas, Rich. Just see.
It's up. Way up.
and who knows?
But hey, one of my teammates already said he's willing to drive. So he's a vet. I got my vet. We'll come. Just
And
let me
the
know
setup.
when it is, and we'll
There
get
you
it
go.
planned up.
this time next year, you've probably got 2, 3, 4 tournaments going on where we can get the vets out there even more. So,
Yeah, I think I think what I'm gonna do is I'm really gonna focus on this one while helping Derek because he's got the Patriot Catfish Club series. Great bunch of guys that I had, and well, that some of them I've been friends with on Facebook, but never met them, like G-Man and a few others. And then there was what is it, Dougie?
Yep.
Dougie, I've met.
Doug and Margie.
Yeah, and Margie at one of the other tournaments I went to. But so
See, a lot of those people I fished with for so long, they're just not competitors anymore. They're family,
Right.
Yep.
that's it.
Yep. And so I think we'll do this one tournament a year, and then help grow Derek's tournament series. And I think I'll be excited to help him in that aspect as well. Because once again, he's my teammate in Operation Vets with Nets, and I'm going to do what it does to help him and Donna build up their series and support them. And because as things go up, I'm going to be like, from Operation Vets with Net headquarters, hey, here's a rod and reel, for maybe a raffle prize or something like doing stuff, or here's a hoodie, or here's there, or hey, you know what? Hey, I'm going to come participate. And if you got somebody who needs to go on a boat, then hey, we're going to do whatever we got to do to make things successful for him as well.
Rich, for everybody out there tonight, how can they get in touch if they want to donate or to give back, or how can they get in touch with you in something where they can talk to you?
Great question. All they got to do is go to operationvetswithnets.org. There's various different links on donations. We are going to have our merch up here shortly. We'll have a Shopify site off that, but they can also just pick up the phone and give me a call. My number is 757-236-6607 is our Operation Vets with Nets. I've got my iPhone. I can have 2 numbers to it, so they can reach me anytime if anybody wants to get involved, or they could sit there and on the website, there's a place where, if you want to volunteer or do something, there's some information they can fill out there. I'll get it, and I'll be, a lot of information on the site, or they can just direct call me or hit me up on Facebook.
That's a wonderful thing, man, and I hope everybody out there reaches out. I really do. And let's get back to our vets.
Rich, if you want to do something here in North Texas, maybe through Hayden, I got a ton of connections with an endless amount of anglers. We could put on some type of tournament where you got to have a vet on the boat. I can help run the thing. Me and Hayden could probably help run the thing. Put guys together, put them on the boat, go catch. We'll do it in the big fish season when it really, it's really good. So let me know, man. I always like doing.
Yeah, I'll need to know the date on that one. That way I can fly home, see some family, and I'll be your vet.
Oh, heck yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, whatever Hayden wants to do, he's ran some other ideas past me, and so whatever he feels led to do to build, the build Operation Vets when that's out there, he knows he's got he's got my A-OK because it's important that I can't be everywhere and do everything. That's why I'm starting to build. I need to get a multimedia person. I need to get a marketing person. But as we're doing this, so I can focus on taking folks out. And so, yeah, if he has an idea, he run it past me and say, dude, let me know how I can support it. Go do your thing. And it helps him raise money to do what he does for Operation Vets.
I think you got a great teammate in Hayden.
I do.
Really cool dude to me. Now I got a lot of friends that are really cool, but I mean, when I say a lot, I don't have an army of them, but he's one of the types of dudes that instantly I clicked with, and you just know when he, the type of person you're dealing with. You got a great teammate with Hayden, so I'm going to try to help Hayden as best I can. In what form or fashion, I don't know, but we talk pretty regularly now, so we'll figure something out where we can get these vets out on the water and involved, not just through me and him fishing, but we probably put something together, team up and get some type of event. I'm thinking so we can connect other guys with vets. I know a ton of great anglers. I love connecting people, so
Yep.
We'll try to get something together.
There you go. And see, that's what it's all about. It's those connections, it's those acquaintances and friendships that you built throughout the years and throughout the industry. And our industry is not a big industry. The catfishing industry, it's not a big, but it's small, but it's huge at the same time. And so if that made any sense. But what I've mainly seen in a lot of folks is people willing to go out and help other people do things. I know I was talking to Anthony Brown, and he blew a tire on his trailer or something like that. It got all jacked up, and there was somebody there just came out to help him out. Somebody knew him from here or whatever, from Facebook or whatever it was. But they came out and helped him. And that guy knows no strangers. That's like me. I'll just walk up to you from the blue and just, hey, how you doing? I'm just, I just love meeting people.
We need a lot more people like that in the world. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
We really do.
Yeah. So,
I enjoy helping guys, and I think a lot of people are like, what's your motive?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what I get out of it other than just personal satisfaction of helping somebody. So, there's no real motive. I mean, I like people making cool memories through fishing. I think it brings people
it's
together.
self-rewarding.
I think for me, I believe fishing is one of those types of things that can change your life forever. Just one good trip. So I try to, replicate that for other people. And hopefully each time you do that with someone, it touches them basically forever.
Yep.
So I may never be rich or famous, but I will make my mark.
There you go.
World.
Yep.
Through helping other guys and I know there's a gazillion guys now that can constantly thank me, and people can think whatever they want to about me. I don't care. I'm going to keep doing what I do, which is
exactly
helping other anglers try to get blue cats figured out and just having fun fishing. So
I've always
people ask me the same thing. They're like, well, what's in it for you? I said the same thing that's in it for the vet. Like, what do you mean? Therapy.
And I've always said fishing's the best medicine that you can ever get.
It is. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't get no better than being out there with nature.
Even if you get skunked, in which, man, I thank the good Lord, since Zach lived in my pocket for almost 2 years. You need to get this. You need to get that. You need to get this. What do you mean I need a trolling motor? I can't just turn my motor on, go a little bit. He's, oh no. So as I'm spending thousands, or Zach's spending thousands of dollars out of my pocket on my boat, I've only been skunked twice, and because really bad, the wind is like 20 knots coming. You're in a pontoon boat, so you don't have all this control. I got 20 foot of drift sock behind me, and that ain't doing nothing. And so I'm getting so frustrated because my lines are going all over the place, and I've only been skunked twice since then. Knock on wood.
That's when you just go crappie fishing. You ain't got to run them out as far.
It doesn't happen again. But you're right. You're exactly right, Derek.
I
But,
just put up a fishing meme, Rich, that said fishing, the most expensive way to get dinner for free.
That's yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
My wife, she it's a running joke with her when I first started catching catfish. I caught like a good 7-8 pounder, and so I brought it home. I filleted it. I made up nuggets, and so we're having breakfast. So I'm making scrambled egg. I got some sausage, and I put down some catfish nuggets. And she's like, "What's that?" I said, "That's catfish for breakfast." I'm like, yeah. And so I'm throwing my hot sauce. I make my own hot sauce. So I'm throwing my hot sauce on there. And she's like, for breakfast? I'm like, yes, ma'am. And I'm enjoying it. And she's like, but for breakfast? It was a running joke. So our oldest, he's my bonus child, Kyle. Him and his mom were talking because they're coming up Friday, and Vicky was asking him, well, hey, what kind of food do you so we know we're going shopping to pick up and stuff. He goes, I want some catfish nuggets for breakfast. And then he goes, not. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I said, man, it's great.
But guys, I'll tell you, it's been a blessing meeting each and every one of you tonight. And I can't actually wait until we get up there to the tournament and actually shake some hands.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it.
That's for sure.
So we're gonna pray about this and speak this tournament right into existence.
There you go. Let us know, and whatever we can do to spread the word, we definitely gonna spread it for you. That's for sure.
That's what I'm talking about, and I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate it.
We all do. We appreciate y'all.
Yeah, man. I saw a comment. I think somebody said about November, about being on fire. So hopefully this tournament. Yep. Yeah, Jeff. Hopefully this tournament.
My boy, Jeff Martin.
Yep. And November.
Got up this last year, and now he's off and running. So.
Oh, there you go. So hopefully in this tournament on Veterans Day of 2023. It'll be on fire.
That's it.
I'll make that trip.
Heck yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's mandatory for you.
I do with Jamie, Rebecca, and Chris. Like, you guys are definitely the right people to bring on and with us, and we do really appreciate our down to earth people, and those are the kind of people that we wanted to connect with.
Yeah.
Matt, the group that has supported us is a very down to earth people. We really do appreciate it,
and we appreciate y'all just as much too, man.
100% correct.
Yeah, what we've built is more than just kind of a team. It's more like a family. We all lean on each other when times are good. When times are bad, then we all cheer each other when things are going good. So we're glad to have y'all on the team and in the family. Now, Derek, I don't know you much, but we'll get to know it. We'll get to know you better, buddy. So glad to have you with us. Hayden's my brother, Rich. I mean, just in the last couple of weeks, now Rich is my brother. So Jamie, he's shit. We're like blood now.
Yeah.
And just the longer we all do these things to help each other, I think the tighter we get and the better the bond gets. So.
I just got to watch those morning texts with Jamie.
I've got to put the names in my phone. Rebecca's going to kill me if I don't.
Who is this? Take me off this thread.
But you know what? I'm more
Rich. At least you.
How many times is Jake from State Farm going to call you today?
I wouldn't worry about it. I think Rich thought it was a joke. I thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
He's like, because Jamie texted me about, I don't know, noon or 11. Like, who was that? I'm like, that's Rich. That's our freaking team member, man.
But your name is in my phone now.
Showing us the jersey. He's like, oh, well, I didn't get the jersey. I was like, oh, well, you were probably added to the stream after he sent the jersey pic. So.
But, I can't wait, Chris, to see the logos right here.
Yeah,
I
that's
cannot
gonna be
wait to see
cool.
the logos.
Yeah. So I talked to LB today, and he had some family.
Yep.
I won't go into his personal crap, but he had some family problems last
Yep.
couple of days. So he said he'd get with me in 2 days with a new revision. I'm hoping this is the last revision. There might be one more. If there is, it'll be 2 more weeks. But we're very close to getting the initial design for the men's jersey knocked out. Now the girls, that may take some extra time because I mean they want pink and
What do
purple.
you guys think? What do you guys think about that design I put up of the jersey?
I think you nailed it. He didn't send me a picture like that with everything on.
He didn't do it either. I did all that last night.
Oh, okay. I was thinking, hell, if I could, can they send me that and I put the logos on there to show them exactly? Because it seemed like that would be.
Pictures speak 1,000 words. And when he first sent me my draft, you saw a lot of background in the images, and originally it was the American flag was the whole shirt,
Right.
and you couldn't see with the logo, and so I sat there and Derek with me. So I sat there and I went on because I know how to use Illustrator. So I went on Google, just did a search for a long sleeve shirt template. So I took that, brought that into Adobe Illustrator, got that set up. Then I made the design. Originally, I had the stripes going all the way down, similar to what he had, and you couldn't see. And I'm like, nah. And then all of a sudden, I made it gray, half of it gray, and then I had to redesign most of the logos so they were transparent, so then you could see them. And so now my wife tells me, hey, it's one thing if you got, the stars on the field on one arm and the front and back, and then the stripes going down. But the other arm, you should make that like a solid color, like and I'm like, she called me earlier. I'm like, ooh, okay.
Hey, y'all are in trouble now. The wife just got home, and I'm still on this thing.
Uh-oh. And I'm like,
Here, say hi. This is Donna.
There's
Hi.
the
Hey,
other
Donna.
angler.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going.
And no, I did not feed their cat.
So I think as soon as I get off this, I'm gonna go up there. I'm gonna take the stripes off the one sleeve, make it gray like the rest of the shirt, and then just put "In God We Trust" on that side, and then "We the People" on the stripes on the other side. And I think that will be the final design.
No
And,
bugs that way.
and when I talked to LB yesterday, and he told me what was going on, I said, "Listen, dude, you handle your family stuff, and you guys are my thoughts and prayers. I'll email you everything early next week." Yeah. So.
Yeah, so when I looked at his website, I'm looking at these tournament jerseys, and I'm like, damn, that thing looks awesome. And then when he sent me mine back, I was like, well, that don't look like the tournament jerseys. Like, what, like, but the process has been long, and we're ironing it out, and he's been great to work with. So I will say some people might be annoyed that I wanted a certain way, but he's not been that way. So I got to give it up to him. He's been good to work with. He is doing due diligence to get it the way I want it, because I want it to look good. You can see that one in Jamie's background. I designed that. That come from Tournament Logo, where it looks damn good.
Which one? I can't see it.
The one on the left that says "done." Show him the front of that one, Jamie. That's our fall jersey.
Oh, I like.
So
that is way cool.
Similar to that, but I think he reversed the logos. This one's going to be on front. Yeah, just the two fish are on back, and then it's going to be white and gray. What camo do they call that? Cryptech camo.
Yep.
So it'll be, instead of black and gray, it'll be white and gray Cryptech.
Oh, I like that. Yeah,
Yeah, like
absolutely.
that,
Yeah,
but white
so
and
he's
gray.
got the blue. Yeah, he's got the blue and gray.
Yeah.
Blue and black. So it'll be.
Yeah.
I love that Cryptech, man. So it should look good.
Yeah,
I'm
so
gonna make sure it's right before we order a bunch. So
Yeah, absolutely, because they're not cheap.
no, and I'm the one that put it together, so it's on me to make sure.
Yeah.
Did you see that one comment on your jersey, Rich? The guy's like, well, I don't understand why you're going to give people free advertising. Blank
That's a
out the
good friend of
front
mine.
and put the small logo. And I'm like, you just don't understand how this works, do you? You support
see,
people,
yeah.
they support you, and yes, you
That's how we
advertise
do it.
for them.
That's how we do it. You know, in the beginning, we're like, do people pay? Now, I realize that on certain jerseys, you got to pay to be on them. But on ours, I told Jamie, we're going to support the guys that we like and the guys that are good teammates. And he's like, I love that. Let's do that. And I'm like, well, I mean, I didn't tell him. I asked him.
Yeah.
And he's like, yes, I love that, Chris. Let's do that. And every time we make a little change or add somebody, obviously the ultimate decision's up to Jamie. But I love having you guys on there. I think it's awesome to have y'all and donate like catfishing. And I mean,
Shut up, dude.
It's cool.
And it is, and I explained to him, because that's a good friend of mine. And so, and when I was talking to him earlier, because we'll see him this weekend, and so he goes, "Yeah, why are you giving all that free advertising?" I said, "Number one, it's not free advertising. They're not paying to be on the shirt, but these are our teammates. These
That's
are
how
the
I
guys,
look at it.
Yep.
These
That's how I
guys
look
are
at
the
it.
ones that I said, I'm a new when it comes, like, there's organizations, Fallen Outdoors, Tackle 22, been around longer than I have, but I go, these guys, have joined our team and we've joined their team, and one way or another we're supporting each other. And guess what? I go, because like my baby brother said, he said, man, why don't you just have it here? I said, you don't understand the fishing community. These are jerseys. So like if you watch NASCAR, you see all their sponsors and all that stuff. It's the same thought process.
Yeah.
I said,
it's the team members, and
Yeah.
we're all trying to. I mean, we're all small, really. I mean, Carolina Lakeways, Jamie and Rebecca are still making stuff in their shop in their backyard. I mean, it's a mom and pop deal. You're just starting out. Now, Matt, he's a little bit bigger with Mad Cats, but when we started with him, he was just a 6-month-old company. I mean, he just basically just starting out, didn't even know how he was going to do it all. The other teammates that we got are the same thing, just trying to find their way. So I think it's cool that we all
I think so too.
bond together to try to build each other up and bring each other along. Guys ask me, what do you get out of it, Chris? I'm like, I get brotherhood and being on an awesome team. And Jamie's my brother. I was like, I got my own life and going on, and I'm successful, but I'm going to try to do everything I can to make him successful. And
absolutely.
And it's going to be a feather in my cap when all of a sudden 5 years from now, he's basically a staple in the industry. And I think it's going to be the same thing with, nets, vets with nets.
Yep. I mean, you look at these, you look at the Carolina Lake weight, the weights, and just think about how these are going to be made and how they're going to look 2 years from now, a year from now, and
those things are beautiful and they're works of art, and they look like they were made in a factory, not in somebody's shop in the backyard.
Right.
They look like something a machine made, but the machine is Rebecca.
Absolutely. And the thing is you look at it now, and as they're growing and different ideas come in, how they may look, like I said, a year or two from now, and it's a blessing for us to be part of an organization at their ground floor as they're growing. Because when one grows, we all grow.
That's it.
That's it.
Yep.
And like I say, Rebecca behind the scenes, she's out there with Chris. We were talking earlier. Sometimes 4, 3, 1 in the morning building weights to make sure the customers get them the very next day. And Carolina Lake Weights wouldn't be nothing without her. That's for sure. She is the machine that drives it. I can promise you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And it's.
I know that feeling completely because Donna, without her, I wouldn't have Patriot Catfish Club, and I wouldn't be able to help Rich as much as I do.
That's it. And I love every time we get to go out fishing together. It just brings us even closer and closer. I think we tried to get fishing apart one time, and she ended up on the boat before nightfall. So it don't work.
I think my wife found her niche in what we do is she doesn't fish and stuff like that. But we were set up. The USO reached out to us, and they saw the new when Wavy 10 here did a follow-up story on the wheelchair boat. They asked if we could set up the wheelchair boat in a tent. There was a big event on a weekend. Thousands of people were going to be down there. And they asked if we could set it up so people could see what we've done, what we're about, and stuff like that. And so I said, absolutely. And so we had volunteers all set up. Some people end up canceling. But Derek was like, Derek stayed all 3 days with me. Donna's like, yeah, go ahead, help Rich. And like my wife, she was a blessing because like that Friday, there's a local sub shop that's been around for about 50 years called Mr. Jim's. Great place, love it there. And they donated all the subs for all the volunteers. So every day at lunchtime, my wife would go over there, pick it up, bring it to us, and she wanted to she hung out that Friday with us, and she goes, I just loved talking to people and seeing people interact with you guys and seeing how grateful they were that you guys were doing what you're doing. And she goes, I really enjoyed it. So she was looking forward to coming back out that Saturday. But when she got there, my wife has MS. And so sometimes when she's walking on like rocky or gravel, normally she's holding on to me just to help her keep. Well, she had to go to the bathroom, so she didn't wait for me. She was walking on some rocks, tripped, fell, face planted in the ground, busted her lip up. And so I got her into the hotel bathroom right there, helped her clean all up. And she goes, I can barely talk. I can't. So I'm checking, making sure she's okay. And so she goes, I'm just going to go home. And then she started crying. I said, does it hurt that much? Let's go take you to the hospital. She goes, no. She goes, I really wanted to be here to help you guys at the booth today. I really enjoyed it yesterday. And I said, don't you worry about it. And then the next day, she looked like, we're both Blue Blood fans, and we love watching Blue Bloods, and always been a fan of Tom Selleck. Well, it looked like she had a Tom Selleck mustache. It all swelled and it was all bruised. And so she wasn't going to go out in public like that. So the next day, she still came out. She had a mask on so people wouldn't see it, and brought us our lunch. And she goes, man, I wish I wanted to stay, but I'm not going to sit out here in this mask. I said, no, you're okay. And then that following week, I went on that 9-day bike trip. And so I told her, I said, listen, that Tom Selleck mustache better be gone the time I get home. She started laughing. So midway through the trip, we talked every night. So midway through the trip, she goes, well, I said, how's your lip and everything? She goes, I said, let me see. She goes, no. So I said, why? I saw what it looks like. She goes, because I look like Hitler. Now it shrunk, and now it was just a little. I started laughing, and I got home that night. I got home the night I got home. you know, she's standing in the driveway waiting for me, excited to see me, and no bruising. She goes, "You told me it had to be gone. It's gone." I'm like, "Yes." No, but you know, I think all of us, you know, if it wasn't for a strong woman behind us and supporting what they do, even if they don't get involved directly on what we do, they're giving us the freedom and the time away
Yeah.
from family to do what we do.
Yep.
I think that alone is you know, there's no words for that.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, 'cause,
definitely the case with
like-
my wife. No, she's behind the scenes 99% of the time, but she allows me to go do it, which with my son, you know, I fish with my son 99% of the time. So for me, it's about passing it on to him and building the memories with him and trying to get him going in the outdoor stuff. So if it weren't for her allowing it, because I've had every other woman before her fishing, they just didn't understand it. They're like, "You're at the lake again every week? Like, who are you out there with?" I'm like, if there's one thing that you don't have to worry about is when I'm at the lake, because you know exactly what I'm doing. I'm catfishing. You know, I'm not one of those guys that's going to be down at the bar drinking. You know,
Exactly.
If I got 5 hours of free time, you know where I'm going to be. I'm going to be on the water catching fish. And so it took her a couple of years when we were first dating, but you know, on our honeymoon, I think she got the real picture because we went to Hawaii. I brought a rod in my freaking backpack, and we went on this beautiful hike, and we're at this waterfall, and we're like, "This waterfall's awesome!" And I start breaking out this rod and reel. She's like,
Vicky would kill. We went to Hawaii for our honeymoon as well. We went to the Big Island. We got married at the Little White Chapel in Vegas.
Cool.
Yeah, and so because she told me when we were dating and we were getting serious, she goes, "Next time I get married, I want to get married at the Little White." And she was saying it in a joking manner. So when I did propose to her and she accepted willingly, I didn't have to put a shotgun to her. I said, "All right, where you want to get married?" The Little White Chapel. I said, "You were serious?" She goes, "Yep." I said, "All right, let's do it." Because then her dad lives in Vegas. You know, she's got family there, so it was good to see her dad, you know, and her grandmother and stuff. So we did that, and then from Vegas, you know, we flew out to the Big Island for a week, and but if I would have brought a fishing pole, I wasn't fishing at the time, but if I was and I would have brought a fishing pole, boy, it would have been dangerous. I might not have made it home from my honeymoon.
Well, I think my wife kind of realized at that point what she got herself into. Because, I mean, I fished before that, but when you're dating, you have to walk. You got to tread lightly when it comes to that kind of stuff. And you can't just go off every weekend fishing when you're dating a girl. Otherwise, there would have been no marriage. I mean,
No bonding time, yeah.
Yeah. So I spent a lot of time building that up, but then I mean, as soon as I had her locked down, it's like, okay, now this is what you're in for.
That was funny.
I've been fishing every weekend since, and
yeah, I mean, I'm definitely that into. I'm not as old as some of y'all, so I got some real.
Hey man, hey, come on now.
Don't let it go for you now. Go.
Yeah, no, but I got 2 and 3 years, so I'm blessed that my wife lets me get on the water because my son's getting at that age where now he's very, very interested. He pulls that I caught last night out of the fridge and throw in the cooler. Oh, fishes, and he's starting to show that interest. So we're almost to the point where start going on the water. But without my wife, watching these kids allowing me to get out there and do what I do, I wouldn't be doing it. So
yeah, you're about to get into some of the best times of your life, Hayden, is fishing with that kid, teaching him, getting him playing with that bait. Here's my wild one right here. Banging on the door. He's supposed to be in bed, but Mom's not home. She's...
But
Tornadoes
guys,
don't sleep.
That's it. That's it.
And he's right. Like, I didn't have that with my kids because I wasn't a fisherman when my kids were growing, but now my granddaughter, I took her fishing for the first time last year, and so same time last year, and so she asked me when I talked to her the other day. She calls me Grandpa Motorcycle because for the last 25 years I rode in the motorcycle club world, and we'll just leave it at that. But so I stepped away from that scene because it cost me a marriage and just never had time to do anything else but club stuff. And so she calls me. So my granddaughter calls me Grandpa Motorcycle. So she's like, Grandpa Motorcycle. She goes, "Are we gonna go fishing again?" I'm like, absolutely. And she doesn't have the patience to go out like catfishing, so I'll take her to my favorite friggin' bait holes. And she's got her own pink, almost like a Zebco, her own pink little rod. I'll rig it up with some sabiki rigs or something like that, and she'll sit there and she'll catch perch with me. I said, "Keep catching them, honey. Grandpa needs some bait." And I throw them in my bait tank, and so I'll go in there and she'll be like, and they'll be swimming in the bait tank and stuff, and she'll be like, "Can we catch them again?" "No, not these, honey. This is gonna be catfish food. We'll go out and get some more." And so she asked me, she goes, "We going fishing again, Grandpa?" I said, "Absolutely, honey." So get them off this kind of stuff, and they're and get them back into the way. At least I know I was raised as a kid. You're doing things outside.
It.
That's a big thing because like you look, I have a lot of friends and none of them are my, and it's I try to take people my age to go fishing. And they don't want to. They'd rather just be on their phones or playing video. Me and Chris don't talk about that. I don't my because people my age don't do stuff that I do. They'd rather be at the bar every Friday night or doing this and the other. And that's not me. I mean, I hang out with Ken Ferguson. He's like 67 years old, so. No, I hang out with Ken and Alicia, and they're my best friends. And it's, there's an age gap, and it's just because, they were raised on the water.
I know. What are you, 16?
Yeah, right. I'm 25 years young, so.
Oh my gosh, I got underwear older than you.
But that's the thing is it's I'm super young for my age, but all my buddies are in their 30s and 40s, and it's just
too young.
Yeah, I know you're like 3 or 4 years from the nursing home, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Rich, you look good. For how old are you?
56.
Damn, that's crazy, man. You don't look it at all. So
I appreciate it.
Man, you're doing.
He moves like it though.
Yeah, I know. Derek will tell you because when I told him, I said, "Hey, listen, dude," I said, "I don't know if I'm gonna be able to stay up all night." This is when we were planning, And he goes, "Oh no, we take turns, cat napping." I said, "Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm good with that." And I said, "Maybe I'll bring my pillow and blanket." He's like, "Dude, don't you dare! You'll never hear the end of it." And I'm like, so Donna started nodding off a little bit. I said, "Oh, I guess it's sleep time." Okay. So she's sitting on one end, all curled up, and I'm laying at the other end. I got my feet on the friggin' bait cooler. I'm laying back, and then all of a sudden I hear, "Oh, freaking whoops! Somebody's rod's going off," and then I'm sitting there and
You're lucky I didn't do that shad idea. Were you sleeping over there? I was gonna record that too. That was going on Facebook, buddy.
I said, I wasn't snoring, was I?
But yeah, it's funny, like I said, because I look up, right, and I'm like, James, all these dudes that stay on big fish, and then I'm like, sometimes I beat myself up about it. I'm like, man, I trying to get on these big fish, but then I stop and think, and I'm like, these dudes got 15, 20 years experience on me.
Hayden, I was telling you a couple of days ago, buddy, you're
Yep.
doing great. You got all the time in the world, and let me tell you, you're way ahead of schedule over most guys at your age. By the time, I mean, and catfishing, it's not like there's not a bunch of young guys that are at the top. It takes a freaking mountain of knowledge, and you're way ahead of probably all of the guys in this group from where we were at your same age. So it just catfishing takes time to get really good at it, and just don't worry about trying to compare yourself to other guys. That just gonna drive you crazy, man.
That's
Yeah.
it.
What I tell guys is try to be friends with high level guys and then learn from them, and then take those things, put them into your game, and before you know it, you're going to be better than where we were at that age. But trying to compare yourself to some dude that's been doing it for 30 years, there's no freaking way. I mean, it's like
Yeah, because we talked about that the other day, and you kind of put that in perspective. Because if I'm gonna go, call Chris, I make sure I have an hour and a half time block of nothing to do. Because me and Chris will talk for an hour and a half.
Yeah, we like to talk catfishing.
Yeah. But, Senator Rich, I talk to a lot of these dudes, and I just want advice. I don't want, that's why Chris was telling me, like, come up, we'll go out on my boat, and, we'll go fishing. I don't want to catch, I want to go out on your boat first, and you show me, find. I'm trying to learn. Me and Ken started catfishing around the same time. He started a little bit before I did. And I've learned just the amount of knowledge I've learned from him and Alicia. It's crazy. So, I want to learn. That's at my age, I care less about catching a 60-pound fish. I want to know where to find the 60-pound fish. So
I just need to get rid of all the commercial guys that are tearing my rivers up over here.
Oh, yeah, man. They're killing gassing with the trot lines. I sit there, and you know what? And I like Zach was telling me, like, gassing used to be such a great fishery, and so that's why Zach started changing. Like, he's still top of line, cat fisherman, but now he's doing a lot of walleye, a lot of striper.
Yeah,
because when the catfish is slow and he's got clients, he can get them on other fish.
You're about to fire Chris up. You didn't say trot line.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I know that's going to get me going.
We ran into a guy at a ramp the other day. He was bragging about his 1,600-foot long line that he's pulling 600 pounds of fish a day out of one of my main rivers I like to fish.
Oh,
he's pulling 50, 60 pounders out. He's just bragging about it. Like, you want to take some eaters, but man, put the trophy fish back.
That's it.
Yeah.
So I'll go out if I find a trout line. I'll mark it on my chart plotter. I'll go back out 3 o'clock in the morning and cut them.
Okay, that.
Well, and that's the thing, though, is, Chris knows, I think you fished the Trinity for alligator guard, but the Brazos River is closer to me and Ken. And Ken went out there like a month ago, and that river's so full of trot lines and limb lines and all these other lines that, like, you can get on the fish, but it's just so miserable to even get to a spot running over all this stuff.
And for the Trinity, it didn't used to be like that. I used to live in Livingston for years there. We'd go down and fish below the dam on the Trinity, and man, at most you had to worry about so many bow fishermen.
That's the thing too, though, is we see
bow fishermen. There's still that issue with the bow fishermen. I don't know why Texas allows that crap. Why are they allowing them to kill fish and dump them, but we got all these regulations on catching them? But that, from what I understand, is some guy that was really high into politics. His son was a bow fisherman. It all got passed when he was in power, and it is what it is. It's like politics and the way that things change moves slower than cold molasses. I mean, it happens so slowly. I'll tell you guys, when I was a kid, I mean, some of y'all are probably my age or even older. When I was a kid, everybody kept bass. I mean, they ate them. Bass were eating fish when I was a kid. It wasn't until Jimmy Houston and Bill Dance came along that started talking about catch and release and let's grow these fish to be bigger. And so I think that we're just now in that stage of catfish, and hopefully, it's going backwards right now. But hopefully, by the time my son's big, Hayden's kid's big, that maybe it'll be where bass fishing is now, where guys are more. It's more of a catch and release for bigger fish, and
keep them crawling.
All we can do is hope.
Yep. And that's why I tell, like, some of the folks that want to go out, the vets, they're like, can we keep anything? Because we'd like to take some catfish home to eat. I'm like, yeah. I said, but here, I said, between 3 and 15 pounds. I said, if you want to keep anything between that, I'll even, I've got a nice electric flare. I'll fillet them right on the boat for you, clean them, put them in a Ziploc baggie for you, put them in the cooler, take them home. Yeah, but well, what about if we catch one of these big 20, 30 pounds? I said, number one, you don't want to eat anything that big anyway. But no, I said, it's catch.
They take too long to get big. It's there's not a lot of those size fish in a fishery. There are tons of 3 to 5 pounders, and that's what we keep, 3 to 5 pounders. And I mean, I can go catch enough of those in one trip to supply the family for a month. Why not use those that are very plentiful? A fish that's 20 pounds is not easy to catch. Now we catch a bunch, but for the regular guy, they're not easy to catch. And to see a big one just turned into tacos is sickening to me.
Yep. Oh, hey, Derek, so you know that one guy I had for Chris, he just texted me and said he got a hold of Chris. They got their date set up. So he goes, I appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to going out.
Good deal. Good deal.
Outstanding. Guys, I don't mean to have to jump off here early, but everybody's still chatting, having a good time.
We've been going a long time. It's been a pleasure talking with you guys, and we can talk we can talk this crap all night long.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm surprised the nursing home lets Rich keep the lights on that long.
Well, the commandant or Comnav Surfland, the admiral, is at the lake house right now, so I'm okay.
Mine's been at work all day and just got home, so I'm gonna spend a little bit of the evening, what's left of it anyway. It's 10 o'clock here.
All right, Derek, we appreciate you, buddy. You're welcome back anytime, man.
Hey, Chris, man, thanks for having us.
It's been a pleasure.
Jamie, too.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you. Patriot Catfish Club. Y'all give them a follow, too.
What is it?
Patriot Catfish Club.
Okay.
Y'all have a good night. It's good always seeing you, Rich.
Hey, thanks for letting Derek hang out with us.
I would have been on there more, but like I said, I was at work.
All right, we're just a couple.
You're yelling in my ear. It hurts.
A bunch of good old boys that like to catfish. So.
Same.
Hey guys, I tell you, tonight's show has just been unbelievable, and it's been just a blessing to meet y'all. That's for sure. And I can't wait to see where this thing goes. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I appreciate you guys having us on. It means a lot that you got a broad audience like out there. Maybe somebody hasn't heard about us.
I think there was some guys earlier, Rich, that said, "Hey, I'm going to go check out Patriot Catfishing." So, if nothing else, I think we've made some connections with some of our teammates that are willing to take some guys out. I think that's pretty freaking awesome. I was hoping that we could at least try to get something going with the guys. So,
well, any of the tech guys get a hold of me, Chris, if they're interested and they talk to you about it. Just have to get a hold of me and we'll figure something out.
Definitely.
I'll be busy again tomorrow, Rich. I got Heat Press T-shirt shop still set up over here for you.
Okay, you're pressing shirts, Derek?
No, I'm pressing our shirts.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But it's nice to meet you guys, man. Y'all have a good night and enjoy the rest of y'all's chat.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, Rich.
But y'all guys, I tell you, if anybody out there hasn't checked out, go check them out. Chris, you got the link to pop up one more time there, buddy?
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, y'all go check them out. Definitely pitch in, help if you can take event fishing. Let's get out there.
Yeah, so you can offer to take somebody fishing. You can offer to help support something with Rich's boat. You can offer donations just to help with the cause. There's all kinds of ways you can help. So we appreciate everybody who joined us tonight.
$10,000. Yeah,
So
yeah, we're. I know it. We're speaking into existence. This tournament's gonna go.
I'm pulling for you, man. We got Bending Tips Catfishing. He's one of our teammates. He said he'd drag his boat up there, and if I would fish with him, I'm down to do that. I don't know any real big corporate sponsors. All the catfishing companies that I know are just mom and pop, very small.
Yep.
Just trying to make it, figure out how to do that in this catfishing industry. But
oh yeah, and I'm
betting with what you're doing, Rich, you'll be able to get. I don't know if it's car dealerships or restaurants.
And that's like I said, that's what we're going to focus on. If we're able to get, even if it's 5 businesses that could say, "Hey, we can pony up $2,000," there we go.
Yeah.
And then we put them up on the banner. We do a bunch of stuff to recognize their contribution towards the event.
We'll help promote it. So just let us know what we can do.
We'll do.
Yeah.
I know Jamie's got to get to somewhere. He said earlier today that he's got, I don't know what it was, but he's got to get somewhere at some point.
Rebecca's ready to put him to work.
I
was going to have to get my wife, but I got out of that. Her flight got canceled. She's stuck in Louisville, Kentucky in a layover, so she's spending the night there tonight. But
well, thank you guys again for having us on. It's been an honor. It's always fun
It
to
has been, yep.
I watch the show every week, so it's cool to be on here and hang out and talk to you guys.
Well, Hayden, I was going to say I'd like to, I run the teams over at Carolina Lake Weights. I'd like to get you on as one of our sponsored anglers if you'd like to be on the team.
That'd be an honor. That'd be awesome. Way to make me speechless. Usually I can talk your ear off, but I don't know to say that, but that'd be an honor.
We're always looking for cool, teammates that are doing cool stuff. So you'll provide something that's a little different than what our other guys are doing. I think that's awesome. We've hit it off great, and I feel good about our friendship. I think you'd make a good addition to our team. I never talked to Jamie about it, but I know he's fine with it. So
yeah,
welcome
to
to the team, buddy.
There you go.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, that's awesome. And like I said, thank you again. Without you, Chris, this would have never happened. Me and you just kind of, like I said, hit off. If it wasn't for Ken and Alicia, none of it would ever happen. When you guys,
Ken and Alicia were kind of the linchpin of the whole thing. I went out and recruited them, and a lot of they've been great teammates. And I told Rich, because there was people talking trash about Ken and Alicia, and I said, "Don't." I was like, I'm sticking up for Ken and Alicia,
and that's what I did. I did the same thing. Yep.
And I got blocked and I got hated for it. And I said, I don't give a crap. Those are my people, and I know what kind of people they are.
I've been in their corner since day one, man. It's been a rough ride, but I told them, man, the more successful you get, the more it's going to happen. It's
exactly what I said. They're like, Chris, we're starting to get into this pro staff stuff and this and that, and we're seeing a lot of hate. And I'm like, that just comes with the territory. That's envy. They're like, is it jealousy? I'm like, no, it's not jealousy. It's envy.
I told them the exact same thing, because Hayden called me right as soon as that started, and he says, listen, I want to bring your attention to a situation. And so then I went and I was reading some stuff, and I said, you know what? I said, what that is, and I told them both, they're doing something right because they got haters. And you're right. It's envy. And so, you know what? They're building themselves. They're building their brand. They're building their name in the catfishing industry. They're doing well. They're a great team together. And you know what? People are envious of it that they can't do something like that.
Well,
That's exactly it, Rich. They're like, I don't understand it. I'm like, well, look at it this way. When you do something, I'm talking about Ken and Alicia, when you're doing something and you're coming into these other people's world and doing it, and they are not doing it, it makes them feel bad about themselves. It really has nothing to do with what you're doing. It just, when you do something that they can't do, it makes them feel bad about themselves. And that's what envy is. And that's basically what was happening. I was like, you're going to notice when you do your best, when you have your greatest moments, that's when you're going to get hated on the most.
Yep.
But your true friends are going to support you and say, great job. I love what you're doing. So just remember, in those times when the people that are supporting you, those are the real people. And the ones that get quiet and never say anything when you've caught your PB or you've broke this lake record that they've broke.
I mean,
Those
unfortunately there's a lot of people already hating up on Micah, saying, "Oh, that fish looks dead. You shouldn't." Blah blah blah. I'm like,
That
oh my
just
gosh,
comes
all
with
these
the
Ken and
territory.
Karens.
I'm telling you right now, I've never seen somebody take as good of care of big fish as Micah had. I mean, that first fish he caught, he didn't even take pictures with it. He hurried up, he rushed it back to the lake. He didn't even care if it was a wreck. He wanted to get it in the water.
The first lake record my son caught, people jumped all over me because I took picture of him riding the fish. Now, they didn't see me. It took a minute and a half for me to pose him where that he wasn't sitting on the fish. But I had guys saying, get the kid off the effing fish. I'm like, I've never killed a fish in 30. I haven't had one fish die that I caught in 30 years. Not one. Every one of them went down to the bottom. If they didn't, I sat with them for an hour. I've had fish that didn't want to go down. I sat with them until they went down. The fish lived. So I don't know what it is. When you do something really big, that's when the haters seem to really come out the most. But it comes with the territory, man. You do something big, something that they could never dream of doing, they hate on you.
Ken and Alicia, man, they've been fishing this Belton Lake for 2 years. And a lot of dudes here that fish that lake, this is their home lake.
That's what I said.
And they're not pulling out 50s and 60s like Ken and Alicia are on a regular basis. And that's where the envy comes from. It's just, these dudes been doing it their whole life on this lake, and Ken and Alicia show up and just completely crush it. So.
Yep, I agree. So I think they're great teammates. I supported them through all that turmoil and stuff because I've been through it myself with my son and with what he's doing. Me and Jamie went through it with beginning Carolina Lake weights. It's just something that you got to deal with and just brush it off and keep pushing forward. So.
But I'll let you guys go for the night. I got to go shower and get ready for bed.
All right, Hayden, we appreciate you, buddy. We'll see you soon, and I'll talk to you soon. And we got some people in here, Kelly Bullock, Jeremy Tournament Cats, Danimals Adventures, Facebook user, I don't know who that is, Ben and Tips Catfishing. We appreciate everybody. David Smith, we didn't say hello to him, but appreciate everybody coming in tonight, spending some time with us. It's been fun with you guys, so we'll do it again soon.
That's it.
For Jamie, for Operation Vets with Nets, Tight Lines, God bless. Azul out.